Yo, this movie's
Oh
kind of
shit.
terrible. I
Yo,
swear.
this might be the worst one.
I know, I swear, man. Like they don't get better than, they don't get better than
Two.
Mission 2,
Dude, people were going to bat for Mission 2 this week. I was like,
which is fine. But like this one, I'm telling you, when I saw it in the
I've been
theater,
batting for Mission 2 lately. It's fucking hilarious.
off the jump, I was so invested in Mission that all my friends ditched me. They're like, "Hey, we can't go see this movie on Thursday on premiere night." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. 7 p.m. I'll be in that theater by myself." And I will tell you, this movie
Wicked
had
without
me.
you.
It was such a great time. And I just keep seeing movies for the last 10 years by myself just because my friends, couldn't be cool
Like
about it.
everyone has an experience like that where like you had plans to go see it with someone and you're like, you know what? I don't even care. Like I just go see it alone.
when did
Joe
this come out?
Kramer, this score right
15?
here is so good.
When's it come out? 15?
Yeah, 15, 10 years, bro. 10 years in July.
Damn. Sold some
I
Because I
will
rem-
say I think this movie and Fallout have the best like you know how there's like the titles that show up for the locations? I
Bro, it's
think those
amazing.
two are the best ones. Dead
It
Reckoning
is.
has I don't like the Dead Reckoning ones.
I love the Fallout and these are I was rewatching this and I was like, yes, this is everything right here.
Having the opening scene be the major stunt that they were
Showing
like
in the trailers,
Yeah.
promoting,
the
yes.
marketing, yeah.
hmm
The ballsiest shit in the world. But honestly, I kind of
It's my
respect it because I think the way that I see it is that Ghost Protocol
Oh,
really it
yeah.
doesn't fall off for me, but it takes a step down as soon as we pass the Burj Khalifa sequence. So it's like if they just get this
Yeah.
out of the way in the first 5 minutes, they're like, what are
Then
they
get
gonna
to the
do?
plot.
Leave? Yeah.
Yeah.
the genius of it for me was that it gave the movie a clean slate in my head. I watched the movie and I was like, wait, this is the first thing y'all are doing? Like, what's the rest of
Yeah.
this movie? I forgot the trailers. I was like, I am invested. Whatever y'all
It's
show
just
me now,
a
I'm in
it's
for
just a
this ride.
different pacing than all of them. Change it up immediately.
Oh, this one? I
I
mean,
guess you
the
had it kind of the
pacing
same
is,
three. Three
you
has
know
like
why?
that scene opening as well,
Let's give him
which
his
is
flowers.
interesting.
Eddie
Which is
Hamilton, man.
interesting that JJ produced this one.
I mean, he's got his name on. I mean, does he have his name
Said
on
produced by.
Fallout and
I don't think
the other
so.
one?
Does he?
Okay. I don't know. I just assumed Bad Robot was in the cut somewhere.
Yeah, Brad Red was on this, and then I was when the titles came up, I said produced by J.J. Abrams. I was like, oh, I didn't know he produced this. You know who that is? That's Gracie Abrams' dad. For you, if you didn't know that.
The tension here is fantastic. It's perfect.
Ethan.
And it's like it's such a and we
They
talked
really
about
hold on to like
family.
even Tom showing up like right here. They did
Yeah.
a
Do
good job of
do do
introducing him. They're like, oh
do
yeah, there he
do
is.
do 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 do. Let's go.
They also make it
Open
seem
the
like they
door.
had no idea Ethan was gonna be there. Ethan? Where are you? Bro. Crazy man. Remember when he was just standing on top of that BFI IMAX? And
Yeah.
no one knew how he got up there. They said that we don't know how he got up there in
Oh,
the
I
article.
mean, there's a way to get up there, obviously, but
They
it's
released a
awesome that he
picture of
did
it
that.
today, like a video of him promoting it.
Yeah, it's a video promoting for IMAX and just going to go see the movie in the theaters.
Yeah.
Um, how many times did he do this stunt? Was it 5 or 6? I think it was five or
I think it
six,
was
wasn't
about
it?
five.
I don't know. Let's
So
see.
when they the way that McHugh compares it to he compares it to the right stuff. Like the night before he did this the first time, they're like, guys, y'all have 3 to 4 days to shoot this. And he was like, he and Tom like got there and it was like the right stuff with like the lights on the A400, A300. And they're like, yeah, this is crazy. And Tom was scared, but he did his thing.
Yeah, he had to use like special contacts because it was like he couldn't see with them on. He said,
He said the problem that no one really knew was like the exhaust fuel, like from the
yeah,
like that was really intense. But I mean, the results speak for themselves. McHugh said he was so stressed that he was falling asleep. Like he didn't know that he was that stressed till like he literally started falling asleep because apparently that's a thing for him. So I told you all about this. The guy here that's going back to check about the door, he's in season 4 of Stranger Things in a great role. Everyone who's seen Stranger
What's
Things,
it?
he's the guy, he's the Russian guy with the Slurpee.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
they'll know what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Is yeah. Yes,
But I think the reason why he's in this role is he has such an emotive face that he does all the acting on his face. There's no dialogue between these two, but it's all the dialogue you need. Like the fuse. Let's
Later.
go. Let's go.
later.
Okay, I'm too hyped for this movie.
He
I've
did
been
it
waiting
8
to watch
times.
this. You already
It's the
watched
best,
this, but like, come on, man.
He did it 8 times.
Look at these credits.
I think 6 has the best opening title sequence, but this one's
It
pretty up
is.
there too.
But it's like this is the intention that Brad Bird had, but McHugh takes it and runs with it. I do want to say
Rebecca
I have to
Ferguson.
retract a statement I made that the job, like McHugh got this job on the last movie. He got it on Edge of Tomorrow because apparently it was like 1, 2 a.m. and uh Doug Lyman is asleep. Tom and McHugh, like Christopher McQuarrie, are working on the story for Edge of Tomorrow while they're in production, trying to figure it out. And Tom randomly says in the night, they're tired. He's like, "You should do the next mission." And McHugh's just like, "Yeah, okay, sure." And then he goes outside, calls Brad Gray. I think he's the guy who just left Paramount, and told him like, "Yeah, he's doing the next one." And he came and said, like, "Okay, hey buddy, okay, cool, I'll see you." I was like, "Okay, you're doing the next mission." And he delivers on this movie, man. This is the last one that, I mean, it's one of the 2 movies that Bob Elswit shot for this, and he did a great job. Do you all know this woman, Hermione Corfeld? She's good. She has her own.
Hermione Granger.
It was an indie movie that came out about 2018. She was good in it. She's also in the opening of The Last Jedi. She's one of the rebels that gets blown up essentially.
It's a nice record store.
It is. I remember thinking that as soon as I was watching it the other day. I've always thought this record store looks nice.
All that brick.
It's fantastic.
Good.
It's the
Jim
brick,
Bissell,
yeah.
production design. He did a great job.
Yeah.
I love the
I
floor.
wonder if it's an actual record store. Probably is.
It's either that or they made it. Either way, crazy great work. I think once we get into the recording room and he's looking back at Sean Harris at our villain, and he's got her, with the gun, then you see the floor, like it just looks great.
It's a good callback at the end too, the way he gets him.
Yeah.
And this right here,
Glass to glass.
they bring this back. I didn't realize it till I was rewatching that part 1, like Dead Reckoning. They bring this little interaction
record
back essentially. That it's the young agent with Ethan.
Oh,
It's like,
it's got like a different vibe to it though. It's like a different type of tone with it. This one feels like it's like she's been there for
This
a
is
minute.
building
and the other one,
mythos.
it's like, yeah, very much so.
Nice. It's a really nice record player.
and I mean, this is how you build mythos, right? It's like John Wick. How do you build John Wick up? They spend the first 30, 40 minutes of that movie talking about John Wick. They don't show what he's doing, right? And then they come into his house and we see what he's about.
My favorite thing about these movies, and I guess the John Wick movies too, is that like I think it's past the 4th one. There's always a scene where someone's like talking about Ethan, or
Yeah.
in the movie, the case of John, they start talking about them, and they're like, "This guy is fucking crazy. He's bonkers. You don't get it. This guy will."
And it's the
absolutely
meme. It's the meme that's
obliterate
about to
Yeah.
come up of Alec Baldwin. He's like, the Kremlin before, the Kremlin after.
you. Well, like there's a line that what is he? Alec Baldwin is the one that says it. He's like, he's the living manifestation of destiny. I was like, dude, someone
fantastic.
fucking wrote
So,
that. Someone
yeah,
put that in
So
the movie.
McHugh talks about that. I think he was comparing it to James Bond. He's like, these movies need that sort of like lofty dialogue. I think the line he compares it to is the line that Javier Bardem has in Skyfall. It's like, "You're a kite lost to the wind, Bond." So it's like, you need that sort of dialogue, and it's fantastic. Oh, you see what I mean about the floor right here?
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like it's
Dude,
leading towards.
Let me hear
this.
your Sean Harris.
Ethan.
No, that's bad.
Ethan.
Ethan. No.
It's like a
This
whisper.
right here. I mean, today, Ethan or Tom was talking about the Hitchcock influence just overall with this franchise, but this right here, when this hand on the
Yeah.
on the glass is just perfect.
Very Hitchcockian.
Look at this. Like, you cannot be watching this on the big screen for the first time because this is cinema right here. It really is. Like,
Psycho.
look at that. Come on. Come on. This is why we make movies. And
I
then
make movies. I make films.
Pieces of
Same thing.
cinema. cinema, really.
No, it's from Entourage. Billy Walsh. He
And
goes,
then we make
you know,
pictures.
he goes, you know what? I hate the word movie. I don't make movies. I make films. That's all he says. Then he walks away.
So
Fucking Entourage.
McHugh and Tom were like, yeah, we were dead set on not including the syndicate, even though we talked about the syndicate out like at the end of Ghost Protocol. And they're like,
Mhm.
yeah, we just like that was just the best thing that we could do. They
See,
thought
to
about a
me-
bunch of other things.
To me, this could have been Lawrence Fishburne when I was rewatching it. I was like, "Where's Lawrence Fishburne at?"
You're right. But he's not like the role is just completely different. They needed an
Yeah.
antagonist that
I did
becomes
mention
one
this
of them.
today. We were texting back and forth, but Jeremy Renner's character, I think, doesn't show up till. I mean, I guess he shows up. Like he's already been in the movie, as we're seeing on screen. But his
No, I was gonna
presence
say
doesn't really
yeah.
feel like it's there until like an hour.
Till halfway through.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I remember you saying
All
that
this
he
stuff with
is,
him
like,
and Alex Baldwin in
sidelined.
this courtroom,
Yeah.
it's good. I like what it's doing, but at the same time, like it feels like it wastes an hour when it could be maybe 10 or 15 minutes of just them doing not even just them, but like up to like the 10-15 minute mark, and then we move on. He can go do something
Yeah.
with them, but it just feels like his character just not there.
Yeah, he's very sidelined.
I think it's also a scheduling thing because not maybe it isn't because
15 was that Ultron?
he's there for the most part.
You know, actually, something I learned about this movie after I rewatched it the other day: Maggie Q and Paula Patton were both invited back.
Really?
Oh, really? I
And
didn't know that.
they couldn't do it because of scheduling issues.
Damn.
Damn.
I mean, Maggie Q, like I said, I got love for her. Like I think over
My
Paula,
thing
she
is
would've-
that like hypothetically, let's say that they do bring them back. Does that mean we have Ilsa Faustus' character back?
yeah.
Like we would have lost
Uh,
her character, I think.
So I'll go into my thesis real quick, it's not my thesis. It is what Tom and McHugh talk about is that the female version of Ethan is Ilsa.
yeah.
And they never brought her in to be a part of his story. She was very much always a part of her story, right? But I still don't agree with what they did with her character. I'm not like I tempted to ask this man, Martin has already seen Dead Reckoning, but I'm not gonna ask.
Oh, you're
'Cause I
you're
don't wanna
talking about,
know.
Like, do I know something? And I'm not gonna answer to it.
I don't even want to be skeptical. I don't want to know.
It's I can tell you
Listen
this
to
right
this,
now.
Listen
We're
to
gonna
this
grill
flute
you.
that Joe Kramer brings in for Ilsa. He's automatically putting you into this like romantic vibe with the score, and I was just like, okay, we see what you're doing, fam. Sodium pentothal and film noir.
Rebecca
It
Burst.
lines up.
I think who's did the best score for these movies? Do you guys think? I have my answer.
No.
Out of all the
Lorne
movies,
Balfe. I think Lauren Balfe did the best one for Fallout.
Yeah, 6 is my
yeah,
favorite.
I would say
don't know
Fallout.
why.
Yeah.
But
Is that a
The
cop
score
out
for
answer?
6 is just insanely.
do y'all know the
Like,
story of
it only
how
keeps you on his toes.
Rebecca got this role?
I don't.
I do not.
So they were looking for somebody for the role just in general, and they were going through quite a bit of people, and they just could not find the right person. And when Rebecca came in, they didn't even talk about the role. They didn't do anything. They were just talking with her. I think
Damn,
Tom
what a
was there
jump.
beforehand, and Tom and Rebecca were just talking. And when McHugh came in, they were just like, "Oh, this is it. Like this is what we've been waiting for. Like we just know that she's the person. She's the one who feels like in Ingrid Bergman. Am I?
Yeah, they
She does
actually,
have an,
I read about this.
She does
actually,
have
I
an
think,
Ingrid
Freddie.
Bergman look. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Sorry, it's been like, a year since I
No,
listened to
actually,
that.
funny
So
enough, I do remember that exact quote. Like reading that since you're mentioning it.
She does have an Ingrid Bergman. She has an old Hollywood look in this movie.
How
Very old Hollywood.
I had to look this up the other day because I couldn't believe it. How old? And if you know the answer, don't say it. But how old do you guys think that she is in this movie?
35.
32.
She was 31 when they shot it. She was 32
Damn.
when it was released.
Dang. So Yannick
Looks
Venter
very
here.
good for her age.
This man was just supposed to be in this one scene, and then they liked him so much they brought him back for the scene after the opera, and then obviously at the end of the movie, which they didn't have the end of the movie figured out. So it's like they just really liked working with this guy, and
The
obviously
movie,
he and Rebecca's character, Ilsa, they have a story that gets resolved pretty well. I thought
The
this
movie
guy
before
outside the door
this-
always looked like Toby Kebbell.
Her movie before this was Dwayne Johnson's Hercules.
She had
Yeah.
a show. She was in
Yeah,
a show. I
she,
forgot the name of it, but she was definitely in a show before
The
this.
White
I know what you're
Queen.
talking about. It's like an old.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
The White Queen
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
then
that's what it's called.
like
an
it's
old
like
fantasy
what's
show.
his name?
on Stars.
Same year.
Stars made like a bunch of those.
What's his
Queen
name? Why
show.
am I forgetting his name? Who's the guy in Bridge of Spies? Mark Rylance. He was in a Wolf Hall before he was in movies. I was just like,
Mhm.
come on.
Same with also in Wolf Hall. What's her name? Was the Crown? I forget her name.
The action here,
Mhm.
fantastic. I remember when this was announced that McHugh was doing this, and I'm like, they're gonna take everything they did on Jack Reacher and just multiply, and they've really delivered in every sense. And ever since, I think they've been delivering more and more. I mean, maybe the quality of Mission 7 is not as great as Fallout for me, but they're still doing, innovative work for themselves.
Yeah. I think it's very hard for me to not like a Mission Impossible movie.
It's not
about the
about
second one?
not liking it. It's just like the
Got
emotional.
a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. But it's like the emotional punch of like Fallout is
Oh,
the
yeah.
best that they have of all these movies. For me, so far. I say so far. We will know within a week, I guess, in the calendar days or 2 weeks that, if that's the truth or not. I think it'll probably stay true. Is that Wade Eastwood outside the door? Do y'all know who Wade
Eastwood?
Eastwood is?
Clint
Wade Eastwood, like the
Tentcombe?
stunt
Tentcombe?
the stunt guy. Let me see when he comes in. These two, automatic chemistry. But I think that like
Yeah, that's a great line. We've never met before, right? That's a great line.
is that what you say to all the girls?
Yeah,
You
especially
don't?
if you're. Yeah, we've never
I think
met
that is
before.
Wade
Ass
Eastwood
whooped.
right there, the bald guy right there. So when it comes to stunts and any of these stunts that they do in these movies, it's him that's doing all the coordination for that. And he's done a bunch of other stuff. If you go look up Wade Eastwood on IMDb, you're gonna be like, oh crap, like this dude is like one of the best at his job.
Wade. Is he a relation to Clint?
No.
No relation.
This shot of him running out. Ooh, look at that. Oh, so good.
This movie's actually, I think it's like this movie going forward. They have very good textures.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes it to where it's very enjoyable to watch. Oh,
I think
also I forgot
that's-
that's like
very good color
the
correction.
operator.
Yeah.
They'd never shown it before until this movie. That's funny.
And they never show him again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I noticed when I was watching this, like this movie has very good color correction. It's like, I like the color in this.
Yeah,
But
the
I think
one
for
thing
me
I would say
personally-
is a drawback for me with Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning.
Digital. They shot digital.
Visual.
Well, not even just that. I think 5 and 6 just look gorgeous, but Dead
Mhm.
Reckoning 1
6
and 2,
Rob
They-
Hardy. My
it
gosh.
kind of looks like a TV show to me. This
Mm.
I understand
part
what you
one
mean.
especially.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Because like 6, I'm talking about like legitimately, I think it's one of the best shot like blockbusters that we've had recently. And Greg Fraser's gone 4 for 4 with Rogue One, Dune 1, 2, and the Batman. And
Mhm.
Mission 6 is definitely right up there with those, in my opinion. There's probably some other ones that I'm not thinking of at the moment, but they're definitely all together in the same like top tier. Just because you
That he
make big
shot?
movies doesn't mean you can't have, artistic, relevance, prevalence there.
Oh, guess what he shot? Greg Fraser. Take a guess of what he shot in 2000.
What do you mean?
He shot a few things.
2012.
Yeah, Snow White and the Huntsman. I've been a fan since.
No.
You talking about Zero Dark
When
30?
was the last time you saw him in live?
Yeah, Zero Dark 30. He shot Zero Dark 30. I know. And then he shot
Yeah, I was trying to get you to say the
Foxcatcher.
line.
When was the last time you saw Snow
You
White
saw-
and the Huntsman?
When's the last time you saw Ethan Hunt? That's what the movie's talking about now.
When was the last time you saw Sleepy? What
What
are the names of
When's the
the
last time you saw Kristen Stewart?
What are
Oh,
the
she's
names of the
directing a
dwarves
movie. She has a
called
movie premiering at Cannes, right?
the chronology of water? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't this technically premiering at Cannes?
This is
Think
what you're
so.
talking about. Hunt is both the
The last one.
arsonist and fireman at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might be the best that Alec has been in his career for me. I am not gonna lie. Like,
I mean, he's great in Glengarry.
Not to bring up anything
wrong.
like
yeah,
too
Glenn
dark,
Gary is
but
goated. Besides that,
that movie that had all that drama around it surrounding Alec Baldwin, I'm sure you guys probably know what I'm talking about, is out.
Yeah.
now. You can watch it on.
Mm-hmm. It was
VOD.
released last week.
this cut
I
right
don't know if
here
it's any
to
good.
6
No one's
months
talking
later
about it.
is hilarious. But yeah,
Yeah, I
I
haven't
know
heard
the
anyone
movie you
talk about it.
talked about.
Wonder how much
I
that
feel like-
shot of the CIA building has been used. Like it's probably
So-
the same stock footage.
Y'all see the Chinese woman there, right?
It's probably like 30 minutes of footage where they
Yeah,
just cut it out whenever they
scrolling
want.
around.
Y'all
Yeah,
saw the
Just, like,
y'all
take
saw the
it, you don't
Chinese
want it.
woman inside, right? They literally just put her in because she's a big star in China essentially. And she has a credit within the opening credits because of that. That's why we see, Alibaba and the other Chinese producer
Mm.
name. They had her put into the movie. She doesn't really have a crazy pertinent role, but she's definitely there in the movie.
she was standing next to Renner. That's her over there. I see her.
There she is. She'll be
Yeah.
back in the interview that Benji gets.
I see. I remember that. I forgot this like
Kinda
jumped
like how he
in
looks in the
time a little bit. Yeah, I forgot. I was like, oh wait, is it kind of jumped in time a little bit?
Tom was talking about it from McHugh that he's a great editor just for himself. And obviously, if you're a director in general, editing is the biggest thing that you need to do, even before you get to the edit bay to get your
Mhm.
work done.
Do they use the same editor?
Eddie did this. He did 5, 6, 7, 8. He did Top Gun.
Hmm.
I actually yesterday they dropped a trailer for F1 again, and I wasn't even worried about the trailer. I went to the IMDb. I was like, I don't think Eddie edited this, so I'm like, I'm less excited for it because
I
Eddie
know,
Hamilton.
just-
For
It was just
anybody
Top Gun on
listening,
a
he's
racetrack.
fantastic.
Looks like it's
He,
shot just like that Grand Prix movie from like the 60s or 70s.
yo,
You know what I'm talking about?
Halo drop real quick.
Oh yeah.
I like this because this would be the truth because I mean, nerds be nerding,
You're talking about the
Him playing
Eva Marie
Halo.
Saint, James Gardner one? Grand
The
Prix?
Grand Prix movie? I think
Yeah.
so. I gotta see who actually
Dude,
directed it.
I know. When he closed that window, I was like, that dude definitely would have saw him playing Halo from like 10 feet away.
No, I was talking about one by John Frankenheimer. What it's called?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know that I forgot the name, but I know
It's called
exactly.
Grand Prix.
It is a fantastic movie, but there are
called
shots in
Grand
that
Prix.
F1 trailer that make me
Yeah, I was right.
like.
Grand Prix.
There's shots
James
in where I'm
Garner,
like,
Eva
okay,
Marie
you're
Saint.
just doing what that movie did. You're just doing what this movie did, and I'm like, the movie may come out and it
See,
might be a
she's back
better
in this scene right
story
here.
than
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
What am I thinking about?
I mean, that movie just looks like Top Gun on a racetrack.
Which I'm excited for. Like, it's so dad movie. It's
I know,
gonna be dad.
whenever I
Dad
see
movie,
that
but
trailer,
I don't know if the
I'm like-
substance is gonna be there as much
I'm
as
like,
Top Gun had.
I'm wondering if this was a Days of Thunder 2 pitch to Tom, and he just was like, I don't know if I want to do Days of Thunder 2.
Nah, this is definitely just like, F1 has a culture, man.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
but you could easily see Tom Cruise in that Brad Pitt role.
Oh yeah.
Like
So I think he was talking about it at CinemaCon that when they were doing was it Interview with a Vampire in the 90s
mhm.
that he and Brad and Tom would go to like the go-kart track and race, and
Mhm.
apparently Brad has a sauce for that. Obviously, I don't know if y'all know this, but Michael Fassbender, he also is a bit of a
I
I think he
pro
took a
race
year
car.
off just to race himself.
Yeah,
Actually,
he's a professional driver now.
yeah. I don't know about y'all. I love driving. I-
It's like 10 minutes long. It's for a movie that like the trailer leaked with
The
Michael.
trailer's 10
Fassbender in
minutes
it.
long.
It's
The
called
trailer's
like
10
Kung
minutes.
Fu Fury. No, I mean it's not a trailer. I think it like leaked. Hold on, let me see what it's called.
Are you
When did
talking
it
about the
come out,
second?
like-
Wait, there's a second Kung Fu Fury finally. Is that what you're talking about? Do y'all
Hold
know
on,
about
I
Kung
can't
Fu
remember.
Fury? Like from like 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me see if I'm talking about the right one. Okay, so yeah, no, it's called Kung Fury 2.
Yeah, Kung
Some
Fury.
footage from it leaked, and it's 10 minutes long. Michael Fassbender's in it. He has long hair.
Yeah.
It looks
If
crazy.
you haven't seen the first Kung Fury, it's worth watching. So the idea for the opera was supposed to be the opening scene, but the whole reason it came up was they were stressed about like trying to figure out the opening for the movie. And I think McHugh's wife took like they went to Paris just on essentially like a little bit of vacation, and they went to the opera, and he was looking around the opera like he was like the building. He's like, dang, we could do something inside of some like a building like this.
Dude, opera's
That's
crazy.
why the best part of
It's like a
making
whole
movies is
culture,
that-
like, yeah, like opera culture is like a whole culture. Like, just don't understand. Like, I don't get opera.
People who fuck with opera though, they like
Elsbeth actually opens their
really fuck
second
with opera.
season with an opera episode. Do you know I forget his name? I think his first
Like,
name's
the music's
Nathan.
good.
The guy who did he's Timon, or he's Timon? No, he's you know the two side characters in The Lion King?
Timon and Pumbaa.
It is Timon and Pumbaa, like the animals that are with
Right.
Simba. Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of those,
Meerkats and,
Nathan,
it's
the
like a
one that's
meerkat,
in
like a
the
pig.
birdcage.
And a Warthog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane, yeah, he's the one who's in that, and he's literally at the opera, and the guy in front of him like inherits some tickets, and he keeps bringing like floozies, and he's not watching the show, and he's on his phone, so he literally goes and murders him with a fake or a real, but like a retractable like blade knife that he got as a kid from like an opera. So it's like it's such an opera episode. I will
And
that
it's just
I
a
love
very
that sort of
great
stuff.
way to have like a
Yo, this shot on the
murder
escalator
scene.
is
Murder
it
scenes in
has no
opera
right to be
sell.
this good. The shot that's like from above. Y'all see the shot I'm talking about. Wait, did it already go by? It might have already gone
It
by.
passed by already. I was gonna say, like, I
Yeah.
think I know what you're talking about. That
It was
shot
like
is
the Michael
pretty clean
Clayton.
too.
It was like
though,
the Michael Clayton
reveal
one,
of the
right? At the
opera.
end.
Yeah, exactly. And funny enough, Pat, who shot both of the movies? Robert L. Smith.
Michael Clayton.
I didn't even connect that because we just did Michael Clayton, and obviously, or I've seen Michael
just
Clayton
keep-
3
I
times
just
within
keep
the
getting
last.
I just keep getting everybody to watch Michael Clayton. Have you guys seen Michael Clayton?
Watch
Everyone
Rogue
online is
Nation
just like, yo, you
watch
should watch Michael
Fallout.
Clayton.
and watch Michael Clayton and watch Andor.
It's on the 31st
Season
of
2
May
of
at
Andor ends tonight.
Vidiots.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
you're not
I'm-
watching it.
Or I will be. I mean, it comes out at 9, so we're ahead of
I
time.
still have only
here.
seen the first step of the new season.
They hit the mark. They hit the mark so well.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, Ethan's hair in this one. He's looking
This is
good.
my favorite. This is my favorite one.
Ghost
I think
Protocol's the
I've
best look for Ethan.
I think this is my favorite.
How's the hair in the
Sol-
new movie?
Solid head of hair.
It's good.
Is it like
is
Dead
thinning,
Reckoning
though.
hair?
It is thinning,
Or
yeah.
yeah.
There's a scene in the new movie where, and there's a picture of it
I
online.
mean, he's
so
like
this isn't a
63 years
spoiler,
old.
But he's like under a bunch of water, and you can see that his hair's like slicked back, and it's just. It was that
He's
shot where
getting
I was
old.
like, "Damn, he is getting old," and it's
Yeah.
not in like a mean way, just in like a dad's getting old kind of way.
Yeah,
Like my head.
Not
like
even
my
like
head.
yours. You still have a good head of hair.
Do I?
Do I? Anybody
watch
watching on YouTube is gonna be like, "Yo, my boys be
eyes!
balding.
My eyes.
So much white. I've never seen this much."
Yeah.
So
I'm a white boy.
talk about geography. This, if anybody ever wants to talk about like how do you do geography for, tension and action, any tension, like geography in general, this does it so well. It is criminal how good the geography is in this scene. I think
I love that they show that's just so simple. Just this is how we pick locks now. Like,
it's
there you go.
awesome.
It's like
Yeah,
that
it's
tools.
awesome.
You know what I mean? Like it's so useful.
Yeah.
I was talking about the dress in
And then like as an audience member, you're just like, cool. Cool.
It's neat. It's neat.
I love
And then
this
little
got
book.
it.
Oh, I love this.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
It's lo-fi but high tech. It's such
Dude, Not gonna lie, I'd be so pissed if I was like really into opera and I went there and Ethan's like, "We're actually doing a mission." I'd be like, "You fucking
Are you
serious,
fucking
man?"
working, asshole? Clock in right now.
Like, God,
Like, it's my one fucking day off.
you guys are about
I
to
think they had
assassinate fucking Franz Ferdinand over there and start World
I
War
think they had 1 or
III.
2 days or something like that in here. They didn't really have too much time, and they pretty much spent the entire production shooting bits and pieces of this, putting it together. I'll tell you what the last shot of the movie for production is for photography.
Is it in this scene?
Yeah, it's in the scene.
Did they shoot this
The
last?
dress was dressing in this right here. I'll tell you that. Like Rebecca
Dress is
Ferguson's
dress.
dress is
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, her dress is
Yeah.
dressing.
Kind of iconic though. For Mission
It is
Impossible.
like it's iconic because they use it
Yeah.
well. Like look,
Oh,
like
yeah,
right
there we
here.
go. Oof. Oh yeah,
The music
Again,
it's very
listen-
it is very Bondian.
very Bondian.
not even
very,
Bondy, and throw it back to like
it's
Bernard
very
Herrmann.
1940s. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very. They really make her look like an old school Hollywood actor here. The vibe she gets in this movie. That's what I noticed. Obviously, it changes in 6, but this one it felt like a very like you're watching a film from the 1940s.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
A lot of shadows. You know, this is one I'd say this a lot about some movies where like the colors look really nice, but also when you're dealing with a lot of textures, that like putting it in grayscale or black and white can really enhance the experience. Whereas some movies, I feel like the colors are such a part of the story where like I don't get why you would put that in black and white. But for example, like The Lighthouse is one that people talk about kind of being pretentious for being in black and white, but like there's so much
No.
texture in that movie that like
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I like that it's in black and white. And this is one where I'd
Mhm.
say there's a lot of surfaces, there's a lot of light, there's a lot of reflection, there's even like a lot of just small things I would say really make this look just significantly better than 4. I think 4 looks really digital to me, and I know it probably isn't.
Yeah.
But this is the one where I'd
It's
say
same
it looks
DP.
the best. 5 and 6. 5 and 6 are the ones that look the best.
6 looks the best to me, but this is a close second. And then the first movie,
Yeah.
you know, obviously
That's because you have the
Jeffrey
Palm
Kimball,
the camera.
Mission 1, and then or no, Jeffrey Kimball did the second one, but Dan Minow maybe 4 with Mission 3, and then Fraser Taggart would maybe like pretty down on the list, but it is what it is. I mean, it's still like visually compelling, you know, when it comes to Dead Reckoning. It's just you don't have the sauce that you have in 5 and 6.
Here's your like silent scene again, in a sense.
This is the geography I'm talking about. See, like
And look,
we
look
haven't
at those
seen that
textures, that's
sign.
what I'm saying. There's so much that's
Yeah.
like overlapping on each other.
Yeah,
But
it's
the
fantastic.
music here, like of that shot of him seeing her from a distance, like that's I was watching, I was like, dude, I feel like I'm watching like 1945 like film right now.
This is definitely one of my favorite scenes of the 2010s in general.
Mm. Nessun dorma.
So they spent the entire production, this little little house essentially where Ilsa is. They spent the entire time for the production moving it around. Like guys, like they keep like productions tell them like we got to break this thing down. It's taking up space, right? They just keep moving it, and moving it because they had to get one shot. And I'll tell you when the shot comes up. Everybody knows the shot because it's an iconic shot to me.
Mm-hmm. When she puts the leg up, the gun.
Yep, that's the shot. That's the last shot of the movie.
Yeah.
Is McHugh was like, we got to get this shot, and he's not wrong. It's like,
They take out
It's
half the
such
take
a-
out the wall.
oh, that's
I was saying like I feel like this is what another movie where it is not quote unquote silent, but it is silent. Like there's not really a lot of
Yeah.
dialogue being said.
you're right. You're right. And but that's the thing.
Same
There's
type of
also
type of like a
there's stints in Fallout where there's one of my favorite chase scenes where they're copying Ronin. It's the chase in Paris, and there's barely
Mhm.
no dialogue in that, but
Yeah.
like, the whole story's playing out brilliantly.
Mhm.
I think Sean Harris has one line. He's like, "Interesting," when he sees Ilsa.
Interesting.
Yeah,
He was also like
he does
a
point
weird
out that it's
Peter
Ilsa.
Lorre.
He says, he goes, that was Ilsa, and then Tom is like, shut up. And he's like,
Ilsa.
Yes.
And like half his ears like shot off because he didn't fucking move when she shot at him. He's like a weird, like raspy Peter Lorre voice.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good
what was I
comparison.
gonna say? I think what works about this scene too is that like kind of like you're saying, Vikash, where like it's visual storytelling, there's not any dialogue happening, but we both know what he's after. And we see that
Yeah,
the other guy is already there. So Ilsa showing up. The minute that he points the gun at her and you see that he's trying to make a decision on who to like shoot, and then you
Mhm.
see him shooting, like looking at the I think it's the prime minister,
Prime
whatever
Minister,
it is,
Chancellor, whatever the
whatever
dude.
it
It
is,
doesn't even
Chancellor
matter.
Yeah.
Palpatine, prime minister, whoever it is. You know that he's immediately like, oh, he's gonna shoot it, but not to kill him. He's gonna shoot him so he can move, and then
Mhm.
essentially not get this other guy killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's like your comedy
he.
right here.
I
It's
love
it's
these, like this
fantastic.
Yeah,
comically
just
large man. It's the best bit in
just
every
like
action
and he's just
movie.
like he just looks at his shoulders like, oh Jesus.
He's probably he's probably only like 6'2", but like he looks massive
Yeah.
because
That's
not
'cause
joking.
Tom's not very
But
tall about
I
it.
think Tom is like 5'8", so he's probably like 6'6" or something. This shot right here is definitely like a pickup, but it works. I think they probably just couldn't get Sean Harris there, or just timing thing. Like I said, in general,
Yeah.
that they had 1 or 2 days there in the actual like auditorium where they shot. I think
Yeah,
this
I'm
was
wondering if they
there
were
in Budapest.
looking at it and like that could be a studio note being like they need to know who's looking at it. Could be a
Yeah.
studio note. Because
No,
they could
I
have had in
mean,
the edit where he just saw the eye and then the phone and then them not
this
seeing
shot
the
right
phone.
here. This is the
Yeah.
last one. Martin's talking about shadows, right? Look at the shadows.
There you go. Beautiful.
You know, 6 and even I'd say like I guess this
She's
one
gonna-
does too a little bit.
about to
There's a
start
lot of
World
use of
War
shadows
One.
where like
Shit.
oh, especially the new one. There's like a lot of shadows with like the light in they're just their eyes. It looks really cool. Looks like you're watching like old spy movies. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. This whole bit's like here's just like the comedy of these movies. Like, oh god damn it. Not again. Like-
Actually,
but it's Benji
Tom
doing it.
talking about this movie, he's talking about Harold Lloyd and why am I forgetting his name? Charlie Chaplin.
Buster
Some
Keaton.
yes, Buster Keaton, like the old
Physical comedy.
silent
Yeah.
movie classic
Yeah.
physical actors, and he
Yeah.
was like, "What I'm doing is I'm just trying to do that again." Like there's a physicality that
Yeah.
is essentially
Again, because
not
it's like
being
a silent
explored.
it's a silent scene in quotes.
It's
And he's
it's
talking about it
interesting you
just
say
in
that, though,
general
because, like,
with the stunts that he does.
Fucking knock off
what you're
Terminator
saying is
here.
essentially that's like they're being made for laughs to an extent, and they are, but that's also like knowing that he's the guy that does his own stunts makes it significantly like,
Yeah.
more intense. Like I don't
Mhm.
think me watching Final Reckoning the way that I did last night, I would have been stressing out as much as I was because I was like, I know he's doing this. There was one shot where I looked
And
at
you know,
my
and you
friend
know
and
he
I had
survives too. That's
I
the
had a
thing too.
water in my hand and I was like,
So when I
was
saw
shaking.
Top Gun Maverick, I brought like a metal bottle with me, and the way I had that bottle, just like I was gripping that bottle the entire movie, like just whenever it got intense, I was just like, okay. And I remember just gripping the bottle, and I wasn't letting go for like a hot minute, just because it's like the intensity of what these guys do. And I was talking about Eddie Hamilton, what they do with the editing and the tension of the writing. It's always delivering. So that shot of the page is awesome.
Fucking knock off
animated.
Terminator over there.
I could be wrong, but that shot looked animated, or at least manipulated in some way.
Are you talking about the shot through the
The paper,
whatever the scope?
Gotta take him
No,
out.
no, no, the shot with the paper, the one that you were saying
Oh,
was
okay.
good, because it does look very good, but it almost looks like I
Damn.
don't know if they got that in camera, at least partially anyway. Like
Is
it's
he an
quite
Archduke,
partially
that
in
guy?
camera. Either that or they just sped it up.
Yeah, Tom
This
just
is
started World War
crazy
One.
geography. Jeez.
Benji.
It's like that shot in Tenet.
Yeah.
How crazy would it be if fucking John David Washington just shows up as like the protagonist?
But he's running backwards.
There's no
He's
friends
running
at desk.
backwards, yeah. And Tom Cruise is like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then Tom Cruise shows up in Tenet too.
Wow. Did you really have to spoil a
Indeed.
final reckoning for me? The final
Wow.
reckoning? Come on.
Yeah. Then they all die in a nuclear explosion.
he goes back in
Protagonist will
time to
return.
save Ilsa.
And Avengers Doomsday. Every movie's just connected now. That's what if I was if I
Guys,
ever
have you guys seen
made
the
movies,
I've
Passion
never
Christ
been so
put that
adverse
at,
to a
edited?
movie.
I
You
put
guys
that
have
at
seen
the end of
Passion
every
Christ, right?
movie. Yeah.
Be
Jesus will
crazy
return.
is if
They
that
re-
scene, yeah, the scene at the end where he wakes up and walks out, if it was just like Jesus will return.
With the holes with the holes in his hand.
So this is so them being on the roof was one of the first days of production, and
You know the thing about
Rebecca
the shoes?
Ferguson is afraid of heights.
I'll punch the heights in the face. How dare they upset her?
So this stunt that they're doing where they're dropping down from the building, they did that, and I was talking about Wade Eastwood. He's the one who's, it's not an easy thing to be rigging Tom Cruise and Rebecca Ferguson to like a 50-foot, 20-foot drop, whatever it is that they have to do for this. It's
They
always
were
the
saying that
details.
there's a shot here where she's talking about the shoes, and
Mm-hmm.
they said that I don't think that was scripted. I think they said that she threw it in there and that they loved it so much that they were just like, yeah, just keep doing that. Like, we'll just do it again.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
Look
the
right here.
shoes, like it's
Right here,
perfect.
right?
That's
they
the
were
detail.
saying as well with
Mhm.
that was that like they struggled to find shoes that fit her so perfectly that she could run with them, that they could slide them off as easily.
One hell of a stunt right there,
My
especially with the
favorite part of
camera.
these movies is every fucking scene where Ethan almost dies over the smallest shit, but then the guy hangs on the side of a plane
Yeah.
and he's just fine.
It's a very Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
This feels Bonnian right here.
You know, it'd be great if they just had one guy in the crowd see that and just just look at
Yeah.
they turn and there's just
That's
one
if
guy
Brad
that
Bird
saw
was
that.
directing it.
Yeah, there's one guy that just saw that and then just kept walking. Like
It's
the
the
fucking
kid
town.
from the little kid on the trike in the Incredibles.
Yeah. Or it's like the
What are you waiting for, kid? I don't know.
in the
I
in
guess
the town when
something
they
cool.
after they rob the bank and then they're in the car and then the cop sees them and then just like turns his head like I ain't dealing with that. I'm about to just
Oh,
the
get
town.
lit up.
Fantastic.
He
Because
just like
it's
looks
like
away.
that's why I love the town.
Get
Because
lit up.
it very much has heat vibes, but they give you texture like that, and that's just
Yeah.
Ben. Ben had made what Gone Baby Gone, and then the town was the one for me. That's still my favorite movie from him.
Not Argo, fuck yourself.
Wait, what?
Not Argo, fuck yourself.
Oh no! Even though that's Zach's favorite line, no.
Argo fuck
Argo's
yourself is
solid.
Argo. Come on, how do you remember
Nah,
how do you
dude.
not remember where Argo fuck yourself is from?
Who,
Yeah, the
me?
title's in...
No, not you.
Wait, you talking about me? I didn't know where Argo
I was
comes
being
from.
dumb. I know you know where it's from.
You know what's funny? That movie won Best Picture and it probably wouldn't even be made today.
True.
Argo is insane.
Clooney won an Oscar for that.
Yeah, Hasselhoff and him produced it, right?
Yeah. And
Look at the
Affleck.
lighting here in the car.
It's the best
Bring
We've
back
been
car
talking about
lighting.
a lot of car lighting through these movies.
Bring back car lighting. Proper car lighting.
the light hitting the mirror on Benji's face really sells
Mhm.
it too.
Do you know this man? He speaks like Peter Lorre.
He speaks like Peter Lorre.
I always wonder, and like, wouldn't this like shootout make the news? Like,
Oh, 1,000% it would have.
yeah, like
With the amount of
Eden's
cameras
face,
there are now, someone
Eden's
would've gotten a
face would be
fucking
all over the news. But I guess it's part of the IMF is they can get that scrubbed.
Security cameras don't exist in this world,
Yeah,
except when
like,
the
it's like-
entity exists.
His face would be all over. Like there's some exposition you don't need here. He just explained everything that just happened. We just saw it. But
I think this. I mean, the B plot is to set up. I mean, I guess set him
Yeah.
up to some extent. I mean, it's not bad. I like it,
I
but
think I
I
like
like I
the
like
intent
Baldwin a lot more
here
in
with what they're doing.
Fallout.
The idea is essentially that like they're showing that Alec Baldwin is a character who's very doubtful of Ethan. They're showing that like
Yeah.
he's
he doesn't
It's
they
believe
a
the
good
guy's
needed
setup
dead,
for
and then
they needed
good
an
setup for Fallout.
antagonism. That's all.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
it's like a second. Each one of these has it. There's like a second character who's like a second villain.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the
That
movie, they
train
always
going
trying to
by.
stop forces. They're like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
they end up joining forces. Like the end of Dead Reckoning Part 1, you have Shea Wiggum's character who's essentially trying to get him the whole time. Same thing with like Palm Clemente. Like they're both after him, and then they
How's
both realize
Palm?
like
Wiggum.
we're both on the wrong side.
My man Shea Wiggum.
Shea Wiggum.
He's got a beard now.
This is the scene I was talking about. I don't know, 2 movies ago,
Yeah.
where you know, from going from being a side character like Benji's fighting for his place with Ethan. Like you're not alone. Like we
Mhm.
are. We're bros. We're family.
I think he just did
Yeah.
an interview recently saying that the Ghost Protocol filming that basically made him sober. He's been sober 15
Yeah.
years now.
Who, Benji? I mean,
said it kept him busy.
Simon
Simon
Pegg.
Pegg.
Simon
Yeah.
Pegg, yeah.
You can
'Cause he's
tell
like,
off
I need
his
to
face.
concentrate. Yeah. Because in the third one, he's just sitting behind a computer. Like the fourth one,
But-
obviously, he's in the field now. It's more
No,
serious.
If you look at the face of his or the shape of his face, it's
Oh, yeah.
massively different now.
Yeah. Compared to like Shaun of the Dead.
And look at Ben Affleck's face in the Snyder cut. You can
Yeah.
see, and not passing judgment on anybody. It's just alcohol is
Yeah.
one hell of a thing.
One hell of a thing to kick. That was him. Go back. That's him. That's knockoff Terminator.
Knock off Terminator.
So this is essentially they're redoing the scene that we have in the
Protocol.
train car in the last one. Except I like this scene a lot better.
It's a bit more intimate. It's just them two.
It's like they're delivering a lot
it
of
feels a little bit more because like with him and Ghost Protocol, it feels like Paula Patton's there. Doesn't
Mhm.
need to be. Jeremy Renner's there. Doesn't need to be, but he makes more sense. Them both being here in this one, it's like, okay, we've seen you since 3 and 4. And the fact that you were able to trust him enough to go out to the field, like that's why you're here.
Yeah.
And he does make a
They're
very good point. He
basically-
gets
they're
very
besties
into
now.
the scene.
I think the
best
great thing
friends.
here also is that Ethan is the one explaining it to Benji. So it's like
Usually
it'd be
the
the other way around,
mechanic
yeah.
of
Yeah.
the exposition is fantastic. And it's like we're learning that whatever the syndicate is doing, this is insanely terrible. Like these are
Mhm.
this right here, this little monologue, these lines. A
A
Rogue
Rogue
Nation, cut the
Nation.
check. We're done. Okay.
Nice.
We'll see
A
y'all on the
Rogue
next one on
Nation.
Fallout. Bye, guys.
Nice. That's when you're in the theater, you turn your like, nice, a Rogue Nation.
And
Yeah,
the
you're right.
funny
It's like
part
now
about
he's
this,
explaining.
we talked about this, that they made Spectre the same year. I think Spectre came out in the fall, and I definitely saw it after this. I was like, yo, like Mission Impossible is so much better than
Yeah.
James Bond right now, and that is, it feels egregious to say, but it's the truth. And within one movie, within this movie, they have better, like women written characters, just in general compared to Bond.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was another Bond for 6 years after that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the last
Wow.
one.
It's one of the bigger gaps.
That right there.
I think COVID also didn't help.
Yeah.
This reaction from Tom is fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, like chill,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay. Okay.
Look at his face.
You
Yeah.
know, it's interesting,
Okay.
though.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
We
Man,
were
I
talking
love this
about-
movie.
We were talking about Mission Impossible and Spectre and kind of comparing them. Which one
Yeah.
do you guys think made more money?
Spectre.
Pat,
I said Spectre.
can we guess
Is it-
how much more? Because you guys are both right.
300
I'm gonna say
million.
this movie made. I'm gonna say this movie made 500
Yeah.
million, and this
Seven.
and Spectre made
6 or
800
7.
million.
So, Spectre. Okay, actually, I'm gonna say Mission Impossible first because it's less. Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation made 688 million.
Damn. Did Spectre make a
with
billion?
change.
No, it
Spectre
made like 800.
879 million.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's crazy the amount of pull James Bond used to have, man.
That is Bond.
And on top of that, don't forget that Skyfall made
was
a billion.
Yeah.
And they came right off the good laurels of like a massive success. And
Which is a big
Protocol
because
was
Quantum
working
of
off
Solace,
of what, it was a 4-year gap.
yeah.
2011, 2015, yeah, so like 4 years
And
gap.
then 3 and then
The next
4
one
and
after this was
3.
3 and then
2.
well, Dead
3
Reckoning
talked
had the
about it.
unfortunate
3 then
luck of being made
5
right as
and
COVID was
then
happening.
3 then 5 then 3.
Sean Harris told McHugh, like, I'll be in your movie, but you gotta kill me off. I don't want to come back. And
Well-
obviously he brings him back.
Yeah.
It's interesting though because
But
I mean,
what I
I
love
forgot how
is
much he
that-
was in Fallout too. I forgot how much he was
I
in
swear to God, if you haven't seen this movie, if you've seen both of these movies and you didn't know what the story was, you could not say that this man is the same character in the second movie because his hair is red, he's got these like scrangy beard and everything. Like he looks nothing.
I think
You
they
can't
want him
tell
to
me
look
they're the
rough,
same
though.
human being.
I think I like the idea of
Prometheus.
him not dying at the end though, because when I was watching it recently again, like for the pod, I mean, obviously this is the end of the movie, but spoilers if you haven't made it to the end. The shot of him inside that glass cage and them just like around it, like with this level of satisfaction,
Mhm.
it feels almost better than seeing him just die this like very
Yeah.
quick, painful death, like all the movies. Like you see Philip Seymour Hoffman's character die, and then it's the what's his face, that the Russian dude in the fourth movie. And it's like this is the first one where they don't kill off the main villain, and it feels very earned in a way
Yeah,
that's
that's
like
true.
we're not just gonna let
It's
you
a
die,
before
like,
that.
we're going to
It's a
Yeah.
genius bookend. It really is.
Yeah.
That, you know, put him in a box again with
Because
the smoke.
he wanted to die. It's like if you ever got like I want to die. I don't want to fucking be captured here. No, I'm
But it is
fucking-
again like you were saying, Vakash.
Yo,
as I
Casablanca.
pointed out earlier, it's a callback to the opening scene where he's like in the booth.
Yeah.
Wait, where's the Humphrey Bogart? Ingrid Bergman.
I
Here
love
you
the-
go. In
I love the detail
Casablanca.
of this, of the sheep. It just feels automatically that you're in a different country. They did a great job with wherever the set is. This location is fantastic.
You don't think that they would have done better if they just color graded it like kind of yellowish?
That's how
This-
you know it's not in the United States.
That's how you know you're in Mexico.
Yeah. That's how you know you're not in.
This is how you
Europe
know
or
the
United
cartel is
States.
involved. This is
Yeah.
how you know that
I
There's
love
probably-
when movies do that kind of, because it's kind of becomes such a like a staple of like action movies where they go to like different countries and everything just kind of
Yeah.
different. It's so funny to me though.
I'm glad Rebecca Ferguson is
Have any of you
Rebecca
seen,
Ferguson.
Have
Like,
any of you seen Silo with her?
yeah,
I have,
season one.
I have seen an episode or two.
Actually, I was talking about the production designer today. He's the production designer that worked on the prequels for Star Wars for George Lucas.
I think it's renewed for like season 4 or something.
Yeah. That's
There's
why
many
Rebecca
books.
had to
There's
leave
like
one
4 or
way or
5.
another.
Yeah.
I think
Silo
she
to
looks
do.
better with age. I think she looks even more different in Doctor Sleep and Dune. She started to own her, her power as an actress in a greater way. And this was just like a jump off point for her. Which I have to respect,
Ethan.
and this is me coping with her,
Ethan.
spoilers
Ethan.
for Dead Reckoning, but
Yeesh.
for her
I'll
dying.
bet. But yeah, they do really sideline Jeremy Renner. I mean, it could have been Ultron scheduling conflicts the same year,
Very
right?
much.
15?
Yeah,
15?
and they had a weird production with that one too.
Like they could have probably only had him for like a week.
So if this is CG, like if this is a green screen, they did a good job.
That's definitely a green screen background. Yeah.
But like it is so far away, like the depth, like you can tell a little
Mhm.
bit here, but besides that, it looks really good. You can tell in this shot right here.
Mm-hmm. When
But
it's on
this one
Renner, you
looks
can tell
really good.
more.
Like the shot of Ving looks better than the shot of Renner.
Yeah,
But
Renner, you
that
can
also could
definitely
be
tell,
timing.
Yeah.
You never know. That might just be like a like a
Yeah.
stand-in or something. They just put him like they could have him in the same room or something. They just put it together.
They do that sometimes. Get your double. Runner's got to
They'll
go.
do that. Yeah, stand-in if people can't
Mhm.
like whatever, if they can't stand each other.
Or if actors are just an
Especially if you're
asshole.
working on a
Yeah.
show and people don't get along, you don't want to get them to the
Yeah.
later season.
The big reason for stand-ins a lot is really just that they have so many shots that they have to get with somebody specific, and sometimes they just don't have
Yeah.
enough in a day.
Yeah.
There's
And for
nothing wrong with a
setup.
stand-in. I mean,
Yeah.
like if I was doing a double movie, you sure as hell gonna have a stand-in. I don't want
love
to shoot
that
the
he
same
handed
scene
him a
twice.
folder with just 2 fucking drawings.
Here, this is all we got. Yeah, look at that exposure. Oh,
Yeah, it's fantastic.
looks damn good, man. Oof. And
She
them
has
blue
that like
eyes.
Northern European accent, and
She's Swedish.
fantastic.
I believe she's Swedish anyway. I could be wrong. Maybe someone listening to the pod will correct me.
Wow.
No
Maybe
idea.
I'll
Or I know she's Northern. You know, she's one of the. She's Scandinavian.
She's from Stockholm, Sweden.
So you're telling me in a different world she would have been the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Her full name is Rebecca Louisa Ferguson Sandstrom.
I'm glad Sandra Huller is going to be in Project Hail Mary. She's working in Hollywood to some extent now. Another great Swede right now on TV, or he's in movies too. Obviously, Stellan Skarsgård, one of my
Just-
favorite actors. Period.
And all his sons are actors now.
So y'all were talking about in Mission Impossible 2 how when Anthony Hopkins is talking about whatever he was talking about, I forgot, but if he was talking and they cut everything together like this.
Yeah. I think I
Then
even
it
said
would be-
that during the pod too, where I was like saying that if they had
No,
just
you're
cut it
that's what I'm saying.
together
I'm
while they
bringing
were-
that up like you were
Mhm.
talking about it. Yeah.
Instead of him just explaining and them staring at each other.
There's a very good chance I think it would have worked better. But again, that
So
3-hour cut might be better.
So I was
Um,
talking about
at
this right
the,
here. So the camera. So
Yeah, there you go.
this is
There gotta be a
Real
real
stand-in.
real that's standing on the other
or not a
side.
mirror, but a
Yeah,
window.
stand on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rebecca's
We
standing on
pointed
the
that
other side of there
that
too.
that Terminator shot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the language of cinema right there. Like, you know the shot. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Kind of like, oh, I know how they did this shot. That's
Yeah.
a window. I was talking to someone last night while I was in line for Final Reckoning, and crazy. They said their favorite Mission Impossible was the second one, and I was like, that's fucking wild. I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who actually thinks it's the best one.
You know, some people they love to be contrarians. They're just like,
Some-
hey, like, sometimes
think
I
she
love
was
the
being
worst-
contrarian.
see-
I think she really did just think it was really fun, and a lot of people do think that movie's fun, and I'll give them that. But man, it's that is a movie that, like I said, we were watching it. It felt like a task to get through.
And like I told you, I love romance. I love all these elements, but it's just like the way it's put together, like the actual assembly of these, this recipe is not good. It's
Mhm.
like the difference of like me putting something together and Gordon Ramsay putting something together. There's a big difference. Time to bring it up again, Martin. The scene right here, this is the only thing that's shot digital in this movie. They got the LX 65 from Hoyte van Hoytema from Spectre, and
Mhm.
Ethan, Tom Cruise, actually could hold his breath up to like 6 minutes. But who broke his record?
Kate Winslet for Avatar: The Way of Water, a James
And-
Cameron film.
You're telling me she could hold her breath for 9 minutes? How are you
8
not dead,
minutes.
lady?
You didn't see Titanic, man. She can hold her breath.
Yeah, she could have hold her breath if she got off that door.
Nah, dude. Leo was a ghost the whole time. I'm gonna start that rumor that Leo was a ghost in Titanic and he wasn't actually real.
the entire time. Like he's just sitting at lunch with a bunch of rich people, and he's just like
Yeah.
he's just the
It's,
ghost.
have you seen how they shot this sequence with him underwater? Because it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's all it's all on a green screen, but it's underwater.
I remember when this was coming out, they were promoting that scene a lot.
Yeah, it was like the water thing, and then
The airplane, yeah.
the airplane one. Which
What's
is
your
funny
favorite
because
sequence
you
of the movie?
mentioned
It was
the-
when,
the airplane one, but my Avery, when we watched this movie, she says that the one that she finds more impressive is the water sequence. And funny enough, we walked out of Final Reckoning yesterday. She said the same thing about Final Reckoning because there's obviously you guys know that there's marketing it right now. There's a water stunt too, and she said the same thing about that one. She was like, "That's the best one, even over the planes at the end."
So your favorite one is the water
Again.
one in this one?
Again, another silent scene.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite action sequence is in this movie. I think it is the chase in Morocco, like the motorcycle chase.
Mm,
The one that's
I
about to
like the
happen.
motorcycle chase over the water. I think
water.
the water one's not bad. It's just between the three sequences, I think the plane, highway, and then water.
Yeah.
And I enjoy all of them. They're all good, but it's just like I think the most story being told is with the bike one. So that just kind of edges out a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's probably the longest scene too of them.
Funny enough, I was listening to Chad Stahelski talking about shooting in Morocco for John Wick 4 or no, John Wick 3, and they're talking about how they had just like a bunch of stray cats everywhere, and they're by a port because like the fish smell and the fish that like the dead fish, they were essentially just cats everywhere. They built entire like little houses, little cages for cats so they wouldn't come on set because they had the dogs and all that stuff too. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shoot on real locations if you can. But then again, in that situation, what are you gonna do, right? Have we seen that
Here's
text
what I mean.
somewhere
Those
else?
little things. I love that.
Yeah. That's what
I
I'm
feel like
saying.
I've
It's like you as an audience member, you're like, cool, got it.
I've seen
you
that
got-
Cool.
you got
text
text
somewhere
like
That
else.
they have in their pockets.
yeah. Can break
What
glass
movie
is
into
it? Them at all
little
times.
tiny pieces of sand.
Die Another Day. That's what it's from. You know the ring that James has in that where he puts it against the glass and he can break the glass? That's what it is.
Look at the textures of this like building, man. That's what I mean. Like this would look fucking great in black and white. There's so many layers to everything. It looks
And it's a
so
very
good.
visual movie, like the storytelling just overall that you could tell
They
what's
don't-
going
like
on.
they don't talk unless it's really absolutely necessary to fill in the plot.
Which is
That's what I'm
funny
saying.
because
For this scene here
You
is
know why they
another
do that?
silent scene. Another silent scene.
they do that because half the time they don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
There's like, we got to do this. Like, we don't know what's going on. Like, we have the plot mechanics. We don't know what the story is. They probably don't even know what he's going to get from inside. Like, that's just what they do, which is just baffles me.
Dude, let me get one of these suits. Even though I don't swim. See, I
But
was
yeah,
like, when I was watching this, I was like, damn, if he was able to get through like 5 doors, I think he's good to go. Like, he can go.
Yeah.
Like, most intense security. So then I was like, wait, so if he actually did work there, would he have to memorize like 6 different codes to get into the one area to then walk down the hallway?
I mean,
That's too much
I
work,
think the whole
man.
idea that they were saying as well that like it's already so fucking hard to do it that
Yeah.
like
No, I was thinking if you were an
going to
actual
this
just
water is
worker
like the
there.
easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny to me is whenever he was talking about doing the like thing in the water, they have another callback to the fourth movie where like Benji's the one saying like, "Oh yeah, he's got it, he's no problem," even though he's not the one doing the stuff. Where he's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be fine, he'll be fine.
He's got it.
He's got it. It's like 6 minutes. You're good."
Imagine there's a worker. Did anyone just see that dude that just jumped jumped into
Imagine
there?
you're like just way too off to the side,
Yeah.
just fucking smack your head on that thing.
Just immediately dies. Ends the movie.
I, for the life of me, hate opening locks like this, like a locker lock.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to memorize essentially
But I'm
like
talking about to the
five
point where
different like digit codes. Like what if you didn't get it right? Like oh,
like in high
shit.
So
school,
I
I would
kind of hear where you're
literally
coming
not put a
from.
lock on my locker.
I hear where you're coming from, but I think whenever you have a locker that you use so regularly, you remember the like the numbers without really remembering, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Because I couldn't tell you what numbers like my thing were, but I could always like do it right
Just tell it
without
right.
thinking. It
Yeah.
was like muscle memory.
Like the number's the easy part, but for me it was like, you turn forwards and then you turn back and then you turn directly to the next number past this thing and I'm too lazy
Uh,
for this.
it's clockwise, counterclockwise, and clockwise.
I don't care.
You have to go around like once for one of them.
But like it was to the point where like every like once a year I had to open the thing. I'd be like, Zach, can you open this for me? Here's the code.
You get some bolt cutters.
No, so I mean, what we would do is I would just leave it open, and I tell people, I'm like, I tell multiple other people, leave yours open too, so we can all have a locker on each floor of the school, so we can leave our books and put our books there, and
Mm,
essentially like you have more than one
yeah.
locker if you have like
Instead
a
of
system
running,
of lockers instead.
instead of like running around to find yours.
Because like these books were like 10 pounds each, and who's gonna put them on
Yeah.
their back constantly? So
Uh-oh. Boom.
I like the way that the shot comes like that comes into the shot from like the side
Mhm.
where you don't see it coming in because it's a lot more
Yeah.
effective.
You're waiting for it to come the other way around again.
Yeah.
the Alexa 65 was like brand new at this point. I think this is the year the Revenant came out also. Chivo shot 65 on there.
Hmm. That was the first movie I saw when I moved out to LA. Was The Revenant.
I was so stressed when the Revenant came out. I was dealing with so much at school, and I was like, if I literally do not see this movie in the theaters, I'm gonna kick myself in the face. And good thing I did, because
You would have had to kick
it's
yourself
still
in
one
the
of those
face.
movies where like it's just visually just you've never seen anything like it.
Thank you, Terrence Malick.
Yeah, really,
Shout out Terrence
genuinely.
Malick.
I was rewatching a bit of A New World, one of Pat's favorite movies from Terry, and the movie is still, it's still awesome. And I'm like, hey, Malik, maybe you should make more narrative movies, bro. So like,
He's like, nah, dude, I
you're
gotta
kind of good at
re-edit. I gotta
this.
re-edit this Jesus movie 8 times.
Did he even release the Jesus movie?
Nah, it's been
No.
he shot it like
It's,
5 years
he,
ago.
he shot it like 5 years ago. He's still editing it.
Done. He's gonna
I think
Jesus
there's a
probably isn't even
point.
in it anymore. He probably edited Jesus out. It's probably a completely different movie now.
Mary Magdalene, Electric Boogaloo.
Wasn't there a
So
Rooney Mara
this is the
Mary
only
Magdalene?
sequence in the movie that's digital, like the stuff that's underwater. Does it feel different than everything else in the movie, do y'all?
No.
No, I feel like it fits really well. In fact, actually, I'd say that like it fits better than I think the Burj Khalifa sequence fits in Ghost Protocol. And
I
the
get what
Burj
you
Khalifa
mean.
sequence doesn't like
Mhm.
stand out to me, but it's also one where I'm like, okay, the minute that scene's over, it feels like a completely
over,
different
yeah.
movie.
Because it's like the visual language of using the IMAX camera is different, right? At this point, and obviously, full commendation to Hoyta and Nolan for doing what they did, right? I mean, obviously, Wally Pfister did his thing, but Hoyta elevated the game. Period.
They're just doing it again with the Odyssey.
I've talked about this before, but this right here, where he's actually passing out when he had to do this, it's like the protocols of how do you
Yeah,
fake
I know what
passing
you're talking
out
about. They
and
were saying that like they didn't know how to approach it because they didn't know if he was acting or if he was just actually passing out.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know when someone's actually passing out or if they're acting like they're passing out?
exactly.
I guess you could have him do like a mark.
I wonder
when he's
how many
about
people in
to
the world
pass
have that
out.
problem.
Like do something
Only
with his
only
hand.
Tom Cruise would have that problem.
Only fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And maybe on the
Christopher
Abyss, I
Lloyd,
don't know.
James Cameron almost died making The Abyss,
That's what I'm saying.
Jimmy
which is
C.
funny because he's not the one in the movie, but you know,
Yeah, but he was down there.
Nice.
dude had a death wish, is what it was.
I mean, he goes after the Titanic. I think he's always got a death wish.
victim.
He goes down to the bottom of the ocean.
She saves Ethan, but Ethan couldn't save her.
I could fix
Why
her.
would you say that?
Hmm?
Why would you say that?
I'm sorry, I
didn't-
like to
you
feel
didn't have
paid
to say that.
sometimes.
You didn't have to see that
Dude,
shit. You
she
didn't have to.
faked her
Sometimes I like to
death
feel
like that.
paid.
She faked her
Sometimes
death,
I
and
like
now
to
it's in
feel paid.
she's in a silo.
I'm a
It's okay.
masocist. So they're shooting this in Morocco. They've got like 100 people around watching them, and I think it was like they're about to pack up and move on to the next place, and the shot where Ethan goes and jumps over the hood and just face plants. That was
It's a
just
great
the
bit.
last thing that Tom wanted to do, and it's fantastic.
It's great because the music starts and then it just stops because he's fucked it all up. He's so good right here when Benji's talking to him and he's just like smiling at Benji. Like he's not even like saying anything.
But that's like
He's like, "Hey, it's my friend. It's
Tom's
my
a great
best friend."
actor, man.
Yeah, he's a great comedic actor. Like he's literally just like
His
smiling at
timing is
Benji,
impeccable.
smiling at Benji, being like, "This guy's my best friend."
So, spoilers for the final reckoning. One of our favorite sequences is the end credits. Makes you stay for them. Let's just say Les Grossman makes a return.
Oh man.
Nelly.
What's crazy is I
Nelly's,
was about to say like,
Yo,
what are
what's
you
the-
gonna say?
what's
Because
the-
I've seen it. I could confirm whether or not you're right.
What's the post-credit scene, dude?
There were people at the
it's
end of the
Les
movie
Grossman,
staying
Tom
for the
Cruise dancing
post-credits
to It's
and
Hot
staying
in
for
Here.
there was people at the end staying for a scene at the end because they thought there would be something. And I got up and I like stood by the door because I was like, "There's no fucking there's gonna be anything." And then the guy walks up to me and just goes, "What are people standing around for? It's not a Marvel movie." And I was like, "No one's got you fucking hostage, dude. Walk out. That's
Yeah.
all you."
Dude, there's got to be a post-credit scene. Every movie must have one.
I hate that Sinners low key did it. I'm like, y'all didn't need to do that.
Yeah. Well, especially because the mid-credit scene was like 8 minutes long, so it's like, why didn't you just?
But it was
tack on-
plot pertinent.
Yeah.
It's like that should put
Plot
it at the end of the
pertinent.
movie.
Ay, Dios mío. I hate Mondays.
Nice.
I think they had
Unlock the
they
car
had a
with their
bunch of
fucking crank.
BMWs on this one.
Where's
There's a
Hunt?
BMW
Where's
bike in
Hunt?
Fallout 2.
Where's
You remember when they were
Ethan?
giving that thing away
Which one?
What then? That
in
car?
Fallout? There was like a BMW bike that they had, like the motorcycle that he drives in Paris.
I would have loved
yeah.
for them to give away the little car that he's driving in Paris.
Nah, it's too much of a
That
too
car
much
was
of a gag.
like, I know it's probably hell to drive, but like the way that Tom drove that car is fantastic. Like it's some of my favorite car driving in a movie, period. Like he's done it. Keanu's done his stunt driving. They've done some great stunt driving recently with like lead actors. And this scene right here is a bit of a redux to the scene in Jack Reacher for me. Just a little bit. Y'all
Here
know
you
the
go.
chase scene I'm talking about in Jack Reacher?
Here you go.
Yeah, it's like the one good scene in that movie.
I really love Jack Reacher. I ain't gonna lie.
Not Jack Reacher 2. We'll
I
go silent. We'll fade out and go silent.
I don't want to dunk on Edgewick. That movie was not good.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters, and about like 30 minutes in, I'm just like,
Nope.
this
I
just
noped
isn't-
out within 10 minutes. I didn't even see it in
Yeah.
theaters. I was like, so this right here, this bit of it is very much like the sound design and the way that they're shooting it very much reminds me of that scene at Reacher, except they're obviously doing better. They're doing
Mhm.
so much better.
Yeah, that sound design.
The funniest part really is that, he's just like he's on the the epinephrine high of like almost dying essentially. He's just full on
Mhm.
like
I mean, Benji even tells him like, "Are you good to drive, dude?" Like, not even like he's drunk, but
Yeah.
he's just like, "You
He just doesn't
died."
respond. He's like, yeah, good.
he's locked in. That's all it
This
is.
this is a great. I loved this.
You
bit.
just had to
They
get
just
the
lied.
four
Oh,
by
this
four.
gag where
Oh,
he's
they-
like, "You
they
just
just
had to get
lied?
the bigger car."
right here, and they just wave at you like, hey, he just wave, hey.
I love that they're like arguing.
Yeah,
He's
you
like,
just had to get
this
the
car.
4x4.
And for the most part, we're high speed chase.
Yeah.
But the power, like the
You just
vixen
had to have
itself,
it. It's such a good line.
of the
You just had
of the
to
engine
have it.
sounds. So they started something here with this chase, and then they kind of perfected with the next movie.
Well, I think the
Oh,
big thing
the
that
bike
makes
chase
the
bike chase
chase
in
in the
Fallout's
in
fucking
the
great.
next movie better is that there's like 4 people involved, and
Yeah.
they're all on fucking bikes. And on
Yeah.
top of that,
But
like
then, and also he's driving through Paris, so
he's driving through
it looks
Paris.
fucking
There's
sick.
cars going all the way around.
Yeah.
So when they were doing this, they were kind of lost on the story itself, and they're sending all the stuff to Eddie Hamilton to edit, like just as the movie's going on. And Eddie was the one who was like, "Whatever the hell you're doing, keep doing it. Just even if you don't know a story, just keep shooting, keep getting this stuff because the stuff with the bikes, it's fantastic." So even like I don't know, it's a crazy time to be in the deeps of like not knowing where your story's going, but they made it work. So this sequence is, oh man, it's always fun to watch. And this is what I was talking about last time about the seat warmers when they're sitting in this BMW. Like,
Yeah.
was it one of them was like messing with us? Oh, that, oh man,
Damn.
I did that to a friend on a road trip. Every time that he was looking away, I would like turn it on. He'd be like, "God damn, it's on this car." I'd be like, "It's hot outside, man."
you just feel your lower back and your butt just like a pool of sweat.
On fire, yeah. Damn.
It's such a great integration, like just everything, the CG and this shot they did. Loki did this in the opening of Mad Max also. Great visual storytelling right here, right? No dialogue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great comedy.
And you know who the 4x4 is.
Yeah.
That's why I got the 4x4. That's great.
Man.
Yeah.
This movie's always such a fantastic rewatch. After this one came out, I saw this so much. I saw Fallout 15 plus times. Like these two are the ones recent memory wise that I enjoy quite a bit. The
Still
unison
going.
at which they get up. They Loki, that shot of him, like the first shot of him on the highway, they Loki use it at Top Gun Maverick again, but the shot's better in
Same
Maverick.
shot.
There's
Yeah.
a shot, actually a few shots in Final Reckoning that I was like, "This is for the Top Gun boys." Like I know that's why it's there.
My only issue with the scene was the CG vehicles, but I 100% understand why they're there. They have a few in that chase,
Nah, they
that
should have
Paris
let him
chase.
fucking do this for real. They should have let
Yeah.
him risk his
At
real life.
1,000 speed, 1,000 miles
And
per hour.
They have them in the
God
Paris
damn.
sequence, but they're less noticeable in a sense.
I mean, they're fucking
This
flying.
entire sequence
Imagine if you
makes
were
me
actually
think of
on that
The
road.
Matrix Reloaded.
I think they're going like 60, 70 miles per hour.
And you
And
speed
this
that
is-
up. Makes it look going fucking so fast.
There's that little shot. It's like
Here's
it's
your,
a little bit
Mission
further
Impossible 2
later, but he
callback.
like nicks his knee when he's driving.
Yeah.
It's
when he
really
gets up
quick,
here.
too. Yeah, it's like he's turning a corner. I know that.
This is
Right
what I
here.
mean by like, sometimes you could just turn on a movie and you have the stints of these scenes where it's just like, it's just action and like the storytelling's purely visual. You just sit there and just, experience genius.
It was right there.
And-
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember whenever this was playing at the theater I worked at, I would walk in for like every single time the scene played. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is so fucking good, man."
And on the
I'd
big
walk in and
screen.
just watch from like the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But I remember I was driving to go see the movie again with my parents, and someone almost nicked the back of my car, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not trying to make this a Mission Impossible. I'm trying to get to this movie, man. Like, and I ran in, and it was the opening scene was already playing. Like, I was late.
Little Mission Impossible 2 callback.
Yeah,
The highway.
except this is better.
Over a hill. This is better though.
Yeah. There's your John Woo shot. Go right up on her.
All
John
those
Woo
little
shot.
elements, all this is, I think it was done out of just a need. Like I said, they didn't know where they were going with the scene, so it's like, it's simple, it's effective, it works, right?
Mm.
Just having that shot going in her eyes, speed it up. It's simple and elegant.
That's a good look by her. Good acting.
Does the trick.
Good look by her there. Hey, good acting, Rebecca.
You know, one thing I've noticed about the way that we discuss movies is that whenever a scene gets really fucking good, we like forget to talk.
We shut
You
up.
stop talking.
Yeah.
We shut up, and it's not like a bad thing. I think if
You
anything,
know
it really
when-
does
you
kinda
know
help
when
the
I
viewers.
So today I was listening to that
Or
pod again,
listeners, I
whatever
guess.
Jeff Goldsmith, the Q&A
Mhm.
pod, where Tom and McHugh are talking about this movie, and the way that we talk about movies is how they talk about movies. Like, it's just like, if you love movies, you're gonna talk about all the details, you're gonna nerd out about
Yeah.
all this stuff, and that's like the universal language of art is nerding out about it and
Mhm.
enjoying it. So, whether it's us doing this or it's them making these, balls to the wall movies is something, it's always, there's a conversation to be had about all this stuff. This is good teamwork right here. This is how we do it. Look at Luther.
Yeah.
Now
the
the time
band
that
back
now the
together.
team's finally together. An
Yeah.
hour and 20 minutes and 80 minutes into this movie.
Ooh, there's your Dutch angle.
And also 80 minutes into this movie, we finally have some spy craft, which we don't really get much of in these movies anymore. But, I love this. This dude, if we ever had Tom Holland playing like a multi-aged role, he's the one who would play like the older version of Tom Holland. I think people
Simon
have seen him
McBurney.
most recently in Nosferatu. He's a
Mhm.
great actor. Y'all see what I'm talking about, right?
Look
He
on,
looks like he could be Tom Holland's grandfather.
He does.
Isn't he in the remake of Manchurian Candidate, the Denzel version?
Yeah,
Y'all like that remake?
it's fine.
I like it. And then I
like
watched
it.
the original.
I feel like I
that
like
was,
it
that
more
was the
than other
first one
people.
that was the first one I saw, and then I watched the original. I was like, oh. Yeah.
I saw it because my
I was like,
I was
I think
like,
they're both good.
But I
The
like
original
it.
One is significantly
I
better.
mean, I said
but
Jonathan-
they feel like
Jonathan
different
Demme.
movies. Like they're doing very different things.
Jonathan Demme.
I saw it because my aunt recommended it.
I think
and I
it's. I
was
think
like-
if people didn't like it at the time and they watched it now, they probably would like it more.
They'd find a better love for it. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's like it's just not great. It's not as great as the
Yeah.
original.
Denzel is good in it though.
Denzel's always good.
Jeffrey
in it.
Wright.
He's always good in everything.
Jeffrey Wright's in that. Liev Schreiber, Meryl Streep, good cast. This guy has the voice to be like a British intelligence guy.
That's what it's great casting. It really
Yeah.
is. And Tom Hollander is
Like-
he's got a great casting too.
Yeah.
As
It's
you know,
interesting you should say that actually.
good to know. That's awesome.
Is he in? I'm gonna take a guess. He's in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Let's see. Let's see. Yep. Damn. I mean, this guy's
Shot
built.
by
This guy's built
the-
for that Tinker Tailor Soldier
the
Spy.
amazing Hoyte van Hoytema. See, that's the thing. There's a difference between the latitude of what a spy movie is. You either have a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, or you have a Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Mhm.
Where it's like one is either as boring as, watching paint dry, or there's, this sort of action spy thriller sort of movie. And I love both of them. So,
Yeah, I was like, damn, you calling Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, boring paint.
But it's
dry.
like I'm just saying, like pacing wise, like for people,
yeah.
for me, I love them both.
Different,
Like
yeah.
I think the latitude of this genre is fantastic. I think it's something that should always be
a
explored.
spy thriller.
I'm always down for a spy thriller, even if, the slower the better, honestly. Because
You weren't
it's
a
like
fan of The Amateur?
I haven't seen The Amateur yet. I haven't even seen The Black Bag yet. But that sort of thing, even though
Bag
I've seen
rips.
15 minutes, I've seen like 15, 20 minutes of The Black Bag and I don't even know. But yeah, I love that sort of stuff.
The Amateur.
Actually, the best review I got of Black Bag was
You might survive the blast if you jump now.
Yeah. If you jump
jump
really
now, you might
fast, you
survive the
might
blast.
survive the blast.
my buddy. He saw Black Bag. He was like, I don't know what that movie was. I thought he hated it at first, and
Bro.
then he was like the movie was building, and then like, oh, at the end, I was like, oh, this is a good movie.
Dude. In The Amateur, I could not buy Rami Malek being married to Rachel Brosnahan. I can't. Like,
That's the one thing that like held you back.
What do you mean?
Like fuck this guy.
I couldn't do
He's
it.
not
Man. I was
even
just like,
no fucking
there's
I could
way.
buy
no
that.
way there's no way he's pulling that. No way. As a little nerdy CIA agent, it's like in the depths of the CIA.
I've seen it in real life. It's always a twink with a
It's always a
beautiful
twink, it's
woman.
It's always a twink with a beautiful.
My best friend is a twink with a beautiful woman. He'll admit it wholeheartedly.
Somehow they do always
I mean,
give you
come
that
on,
woman.
Rami
You're not
Malek
wrong.
and Rachel and Lois Lane.
Rami Malek's a cute guy. He's handsome, dude.
I don't know about all that.
He's a handsome.
Me and him are the same level of handsome. It ain't that handsome.
If you jump really fast, you might survive the blast.
This is the same scene in the fourth movie where like he's
Yeah.
arguing with him about the
This is all better.
giving them the paper, giving him the nuclear launch codes.
Yeah.
It's literally the
But it's
same
definitely
movie, just
better.
much more refined and it's much more
Yeah.
precise and tonally it's just much better.
But this is the spy. This is the
Is
spy
it
work,
just-
right?
Is it
It's
just
like
guys
we're
being
following
dudes?
into him. We're doing this. It's like it's a bunch of blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it's like such good blah blah blah. Like this is what
It's
you
such
want
good
in your
blah,
movie.
blah, blah. It's
Good blah
crazy.
blah. Just guys being dudes.
Yo, this turtleneck or whatever that Luther had on, fantastic. It was like the texture is just awesome.
Dude, he starts to just rock the fedoras, and you're like, all right.
Fantastic cemetery right here. They really like when they went back to London, they really started using it real well. They shut down at Christmas break, I think, and they were
then
trying
they
to
make-
figure out the third act of this movie.
Probably
And
like,
they-
what, the 10 days it wasn't raining in London.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Peter.
All is forgiven.
I was forgiven.
This is the guy that would definitely play Voldemort in my version of the Harry Potter movies. I think this is as close as you get to a Philip Seymour Hoffman performance.
I like that he doesn't have a neck.
He doesn't what?
I like that
Have
he
a
doesn't
neck?
really have a neck. Like it kind of take a look at him. Like, so side profile. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying like it works.
I know what you mean.
Very
It's
distinct.
just the observation. It's one of
He's
my
just a very distinct
observations.
Look at him. Look at him. He doesn't
Yeah,
have a neck.
he doesn't. Yeah.
Hey,
He's
he
a
ain't
very
got a neck.
distinct
He's all
person.
muscle, bro.
He's built like a turtle. He looks like Franklin. Complimentary. Sean Harris.
So-
Yo, I used to fucking love Franklin, man.
I don't know
You
what
remember that
happened.
theme song?
Yeah, I don't mean this in a bad
We need to
way.
do an episode
This
where we
is
actually
just
talk
an
about the movie.
observation.
Yeah, let's
This
just
is gonna be my
watch it
most
for instead of
controversial
Franklin.
conversation of
He's
this
gonna say
pod.
he fucking hates Franklin or some shit. All right, go ahead and say it. We're gonna cook you anyway. So
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson's face shape changed from like this to like all the subsequent movies that she's done.
I don't think that's a controversial take. I think it's just an observation.
That's what I'm saying. It's an observation. It's just like that's what I'm saying.
And
It's
you're
the
not
most
wrong.
controversial
Her
thing I can
face,
say.
Did she get,
her face
um,
has like less.
Fat,
Buccal fat remover? Is that what they do?
It's very possible.
or
I
it
didn't
could
wanna
just
say
be
it.
literally, like a jade little like roller
No,
thing.
it's
It could
not.
be-
It's not like a. People do that. Not just actresses. Actual actors do that too.
yeah,
It's
a real
more of
thing,
a.
yeah.
It's more of.
It
It's
gives your face
sometimes
more
it's-
of
it's-
like like a shape. It gives
Yeah,
it less
sometimes it's
like
an agent telling you to do that too. Be like, hey, you can get more roles if you look like
I
this.
don't know if y'all have heard this about Botox, but Botox, if you have Botox, it actually helps with like sweat and like having
I
makeup
know.
on and all that sort of
I
stuff.
sweat so much, and everyone's like, you should get Botox, and I never thought about that. Like, it actually really helps with sweat,
because
especially your
Nah, I'm a
covered in
sweat.
plastic, right?
I don't know about y'all, but I like
because of
sweat.
I
what?
don't know how Botox works. I said it's your face is just covered in plastic is all it is.
Plastic? No, it's
Do
because I'm
y'all
just
know what
a white
Botox
Irish
is?
boy.
Like Botox is literally you're injecting botulism into your face. Like
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah,
you
I've
could.
Shoot
seen
me
some
up.
pretty botched jobs. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Shoot me up.
The worst
Tom
one
definitely
is
gets Botox.
like Mickey Rourke and Sly, like Stallone.
Yeah.
Ah man,
Tom definitely gets
Mickey Rourke looks rough now.
Tom definitely gets Botox.
And like to start with, in the first place, like Mickey Rourke was a beautiful guy. Like he's a good
He
looking dude.
was he was a good looking dude when he was younger, and the only reason I
And they
even
just
saw his
get
face recently was
just get
because he was getting
obsessed.
fucking dragged online.
Yeah. He got kicked off of
So
the
this
Big
is the
Brother
one
celebrity,
scene where I think
Celebrity
McHugh
Big
said that
Brother, I think.
like UK version. Yeah.
Yeah.
McHugh said if there's one scene you wanted to have Ethan have, like Tom said it was this scene. Just like in general.
hmm
That
No, just like
what if
the way
Ethan had an out?
the way that they have her hair set up in this is what I was like. This is very 1940s. Ingrid
Yeah.
Bergman.
Bergman. Yeah. Very old Hollywood, which him and McHugh are big fans of. I think when she said that, because this was like obviously like her biggest thing she had done up to this point. They would just name a bunch of just old movies and sit there and like basically what we do, and she'd be listening
No,
to
Basically
him.
that's
what
their
we fucking
language.
do.
Yeah, but like we were talking about, and then she had never seen a lot of them, so she just like started was secretly like writing them down like on her phone to go back to the hotel to watch them when they would go
That's
to
why
sleep.
during that pod I was listening to, they were talking about just randomly like, oh, we were like working or something, and we had Butch Cassidy the Sundance Kid on,
Yeah, that's what she
and
was
we
saying. Yeah, and
yeah,
she
we
had
were just
never
like
seen, so she just writes it down like Butch
no,
Cassidy and
like
Sundance Kid.
they were watching it without the sound on, and they're like, oh, like look at the composition
Yeah.
on that, look at this, like the conversations we
That's
have.
how you know a movie's good. Yeah, you can
So
watch it
they're
without
like just
sound.
like yeah, like go watch it without the sound off,
Yeah.
even though
So
William
then
Goldman is
there's a
amazing.
bar. There's a bar. Actually, the ending of Seb's bar in La La Land. It's called the
Yeah,
Blind Donkey in Long Beach, and when you go there at night, they just put movies on, and you can tell when people are locked in. Like they had Jaws on once, and like 20 people weren't even. They were just standing watching Jaws with no sound, just
I mean,
watching
fucking
Jaws.
the weekend that Val Kilmer died, man. That day I was at a bar and someone put on Tombstone in the back, and
Everyone just
I
stopped
just
talking.
sat like no audio, no audio. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could see the movie though. I was like, oh, this is the part
yeah.
where he's doing this. This is he's talking to him about this.
my
It's
opposite,
insane.
the
Like
one I
you,
talk. Good.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say like it's insane. You can watch a movie 1,000 times and know it by memory. Like
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
without the audio, it works.
I was whatever. I was at I've talked about this before. I was at like my physical therapy office, and all I could hear was the sound of Enemy of the State. It was Tony Scott's birthday. It was either Tony Scott or Gene Hackman's birthday, one or the other. And it was just 20 people locked into Enemy of the State, and all I'm hearing is like, the thrilling action, the sound of it. And I'm just like, I'm loving this vibe right here. I'm like, this is what cinema is. It's like no matter where you are, you can lock into a movie, and it's just like it's pure magic already.
Like you could put this on at the bar, people will stare at it.
I told
They
you
just
guys
had
about whenever I went to go pick
Gene
up a
Hackman
pizza
song.
one time, and I sat down and watched like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes for like 20 minutes, didn't I? I ordered
Like
a
at
pizza and
someone's
it was like right
house?
next to my work, and I was like, I'm gonna have to wait till this is done. So I just sat down and they had it on in the corner, and I was just like, oh, that's fine. I'll
Was
just
it
pass
on,
the
like-
time watching
It was on
shittiest
TV?
TV in the world, 32-inch. It was in the corner. The subtitles
But I
were
love
on, so they
watching
covered
movies
half
like
the
that.
screen. But I was like, this is how
Yeah.
cinema was meant to be fucking watched, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the tiniest screen in the corner of a pizza parlor
No, but I mean like
with no
like
dialogue.
one of my favorite things is watching movies when it's like in public or like with other people just randomly. like, or in a sense, like watching movies I don't expect to be watching at this moment, where it's like, you know how like you'll be driving on the highway and you see people are watching something in their car, and you're like, oh, can I
It's
guess
like
what movie this is?
Oh, I love doing that. Like
I do
being in
that. I do
traffic
it
and
all the
getting stuck behind
time.
a car with someone who has a little TV.
I do it
Oh,
creepily
dude, that
though when
helps
I'm
pass the
going on
time
like
so
a
easy.
when I'm going on a walk at like when it's like the sunset and you see people's windows are open and they're all have their TV on. Like, oh, I wonder what they're watching. I kind of like peek.
Like,
When
The
I was
best
on
is
a
the best is plane watching. Who's sitting
I was
diagonal from
driving
you?
through
Exactly.
Austin. I drove from Austin to Oklahoma to go visit my family. This was whenever I was still in Oklahoma. But we had to drive through Waco. And I don't know if you guys have ever had to drive through Waco, but it is a nightmare because there's always construction happening there.
yeah,
And me and my girlfriend literally sat in traffic for like maybe a 3 or 4 mile radius and we watched an entire movie
jeez,
Jesus.
on my phone because it was just so much traffic that I was just propped it up on like the little like magnet thing for
Dashboard.
my phone. We pulled up
Yeah.
the Tim Burton's Corpse Bride movie. It's a short movie, so but we watched
You do
the
that in LA.
entire thing sitting in traffic.
You could do that in LA.
The only time that happened to me was in 2015. Like a truck tanker had exploded, like literally something out of a ride, like the earthquake ride at Universal. If you ever seen that,
Mhm.
literally it happened on the highway. It was on I-4 on the way to Universal Studios. It was 2015, right after The Force Awakens came out, and I
Yeah.
just remember sitting on the highway for an hour with my car off, listening to J.J. Abrams while my brother's like fast asleep in the back, and I'm just like listening to Star Wars stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is a vibe. Like, and then like you finally see the burned, like, 20-foot vehicle.
wreckage,
I'm like,
yeah.
this is something out of a movie. Jeez.
Something out of a Mission Impossible film. Dude, look at his hair here, man. That's some
Yeah,
good
I know.
fucking hair.
That's a movie star
But
right there.
this, what I love about
Cinema.
this
That's
movie,
Mr. Cinema.
like I said, this back into this movie very much feels like Mission 1 again to me in the best way possible. So they mix the pot of like 4 and 1 to me the best in this. And then the best mix perfect for me is 6 period that they've done thus far. I feel like Fallout was bold in a sense where it's like they cut the dialogue even more. They're like, we don't need all this.
Mm-hmm.
We set up the movie, let's run it down.
Fallout just
in
feels
every
like
single-
it seems like it's a bigger, way bigger production design than this. Not production, yeah, production design than this. It just seems
For
like a
Fallout?
way bigger because I watched these back to back for Fallout and this, and I was
Yeah.
like, I love Rogue Nation, but it's just like, dude, Fallout to me is just operating on a whole nother level.
And you know what the funny thing is? The budget difference is not there.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It just
Uh,
it looks like it's there. That's what I'm
sorry,
saying.
or here. No, I'm gonna look it up because it's been a minute since I've seen the numbers, but I know the numbers aren't crazy different because I had the same thought at some point. And it's just like timing and what you're doing with the money,
Mhm.
where it's like once you've done this one time, you can do it better the next time. 150 million budget on Rogue Nation, and Mission Impossible Fallout has a budget that I cannot find for the life of me. There it is. Fallout was 178 to 180 million. So let's say it was $30 million more.
30 million more.
But it looks like maybe 50 or like
100.
50,
Yeah.
50 to 60 at least more to me.
That's what I was saying when I was rewatching it. I was like, damn, this just feels so much like a bigger scale. And it could be because IMAX and shit, but
No, I mean this one. Yeah. Sure, they have some IMAX stuff, but fundamentally, if you have $30 million more and you're increasing the scale of your movie that much more, it's just they're learning lessons and applying them properly. That we
Yeah.
wasted money on X, Y, and Z. Let's not waste that money.
Mhm.
And they just did better work. It really and in every single case, the work is better. The acting's better. The writing's better. The locations are better. The story's better. The music's better. Everything's better in Fallout. And everything's really great in this.
Mhm.
They're going from good to really great to fantastic. Did y'all see that DB9 way in the back? I don't know if y'all caught it. The James Bond, like Austin, what do you call it? The
No.
Oh, the
Aston
Aston
Martin.
Martin.
Yeah.
I actually did notice
Visual.
it the other day whenever I was watching. I was like, oh, it's the James Bond car.
He's such a unique car, and they kind of have it in the same sort of kind of set
Yeah, I see
in
it. I see
Inspector. You see it in the
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
because they have a bunch of black cars on this side, and then like it's the one color car over
Wait,
there.
does
It's
that
like
mean
your
like
eye.
James Bond's in this universe? Dude. Portal scene.
What do y'all think about Tom Hollander?
Portal scene is so fucking funny every time.
Dude.
I know y'all haven't seen
Fucking
Night
Portal
Manager,
scene.
but every time I see Tom Hollander, he's
I
fantastic.
have seen The
think-
Night Manager actually. I have seen
Oh, you
that.
have? Okay.
It was on
He's great in
AMC,
that.
wasn't it? With what's his face?
Hugh Laurie, Tom Hiddleston, Elizabeth Debicki.
I don't remember anything about it, but I do remember watching it. Friends, come back season 2. I think they already filmed it.
They made
Which
a
is
season.
weird.
That show doesn't need a season 2.
Yeah, they already filmed it, and I was just like, wait, the show came out like 10 years ago. Like, no, I don't think anyone even really watched it. Like,
Yeah, they're trying to run
it's
everything into the ground. That's the
The
problem.
Night Manager 2. This time it's daytime. It's the day manager.
2 nights, 2 managers. Night Manager Tokyo Drift. Yo, Night Manager 5 is pretty crazy though, low key.
Yeah, that's when
Best
that's when
ones.
it
That's
really
when
picks
Thor
up.
shows up. That's when Chris Hemsworth becomes the night
Yeah.
manager.
That's when it really picks
Dominic
up.
Toretto shows up in the 3rd act.
You just got to get through the first 4, then 5 is when it really finds its steam.
So this whole scene is probably
Really
one of my
finds its footing,
favorite
Pat.
mass gags that they've done. Period.
I love how me and Pat always come up with the dumbest bits, and he's always on the same fucking page. as me.
The guy just always like just spitting facts, and I'm like, portal
The Kosh
scene.
is always like really cooking, and we're always like, "Yo, what if we gave it this like naming convention like they do in Fast and Furious?"
It's just called Manager 5 instead of Night Manager.
Night 5.
No,
Oh,
no,
man.
they just change it to managers. They make it plural.
Managers with the S as a 5.
Managers.
$ S. Manager.
James Cameron comes in and directs it.
Oh,
Terminators
man.
show up, and then there's blue
See his
people.
hair. See the dude's hair from Manchurian Candidate. That's like my hair right now. You know how thin it is at the top.
It's not that thin. Mine's kind of getting there.
I need a haircut. I'm gonna take a photo of Tom Cruise from this movie and be like, I want this. And he's
You don't have
"You're
enough
not-
hair for it.
Bro, you're not Tom Cruise.
Martin, on the other hand, has more hair
dude.
than
It's-
both
it's
of us.
so long, and I cut
So-
it just recently too.
Low key,
Tom-
I want you to cut your hair, but I think I've seen a photo with you with short hair. I'm like, no, keep the long hair.
Yeah, I
I've
feel like
cut
if
my hair
you
before I do
if you had
it,
like
I
short
promise.
hair and you probably would walk right past me and I wouldn't even. It's like,
Like a whole different
Oh,
person
shit.
with short hair.
yo, is that Tom Holland? Is this Spider Man?
Nah, it's the other one, the one
Oh,
from
it's
It's
Third-
kind of crazy.
from
though.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
He's the real villain.
He was in our show Feud. He
Yeah,
played Truman Capote.
yeah. Honestly, I watched one episode just for him.
Got a bunch of Emmy noms.
I
He's
like
good
him.
in
He's
it.
a good actor, man. Like every time he shows up, like he's
Yeah.
just always great.
Just has a great like a British voice. You're like, yeah, that guy.
That's what I was about to say. He's such a British actor.
Yeah. It's like British, but it's like it sounds like it's colonial British, like a Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's
Dude, it's
I
funny 'cause
forgot
he's a
what the
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
forgot what
That's
the
why it's like
dialect name
a
is,
colonial type of British.
but it's like it's the rich people.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
from whatever area.
It's the rich people language.
It's kind of wild how small that
English.
country is and the amount of
Actually,
different, like
you know who
dialects that they have.
you know who has the quote unquote poor man's British accent?
Tom
One of our favorites, Michael Caine. It was a
Hardy.
it was a,
Michael Caine technically does.
it was a bit of a contentious thing for him when he was like first starting out as an actor, that his accent was an issue, and it's like he's one of our favorite actors. Period.
Batman Begin.
Batman Begin. Why do we fall, Bruce?
Push
Wait,
the
what,
white.
Beat ourselves up.
he tweeted out something the other day.
Bro, that mask pull.
Yo, no
fantastic.
fucking way, it's
Come on,
him.
let's go.
Oh shit. That's how you do the mask thing again.
And Alex,
He just tweeted out. He tweeted out on May 12th at 1:55 p.m. Michael Caine. He just said jet. That's all it says. Jet. Jet.
He's a fucking
Oh my
legend.
god.
And he somehow uses Twitter for like the most random shit in the world.
So y'all were talking about or like Martin mentioned the one little scene between Alec and Brant after the opera scene, I think, where it's like it just feels like it's extra. They could have cut this out. Like they're just talking about what happened, but it's like they had to
I
bring him
don't
back.
I don't think that they could have cut all of it. All I'm saying is that they could have condensed it to an extent so that way it's part of the actual A plot rather than having it part of B plot. But I understand why they
But I
separated
think
it.
they had to do it to make this work. So it's
No,
like it was
that's
just
what
like
I was saying that. I was saying that like
Yeah.
without that scene, you don't get him joining them as like part of the because this
Yeah.
happens at the end of like
It's,
Fast and Furious too. It's this thing with Hobbs where like he finally
Yeah.
realizes like okay, like I have to help them or else this is gonna happen. And it happens in
Yeah.
the sixth one, happens in the seventh one, happens in never mind.
it's like a storytelling posterity.
It
That's what it
happens in
is.
It happens in the second one. There you go.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it's
Kipling.
like-
That's a
it's
great
like you have the
British
archetypes.
British throwback right there. Rudyard
There's the
Kipling.
archetypes, you have the story beat, like just everything is there. It's all easy to use. When you recognize it, it's very easy to say, like,
Damn,
okay, yeah, like
That's a
these
lot
things
of
work.
money.
Man, do I got it.
The way that like Fast and Furious really like throws in like the idea of like we're doing this for family. These movies are basically doing the same thing, but he just has friends. He's like, I would do
Yeah.
anything
But
for
that's
my
what but that's the thing. He's doing it for his family, but his family are friends too, right? That it's
Yes,
like
but my point is just that like the Fast and Furious movies, obviously not everybody's his real family. Like I think two of them are,
Yeah.
maybe two or three. But these movies, it's like it's the same idea. Like no one's really family, but they're all his friends, and there's family to
Basically,
him.
his family. Yeah.
the family that you create is your friends.
The family,
Just even in a
that we
real
have
life
is really the ones
sense
that we
that
create along the way.
like it's the family you choose, right? And there's like a whole thematic life relevant philosophy behind that, but like y'all get what I mean.
Because
I get what
family
you
doesn't have to be blood. Mr. Feeney, Boy Meets World.
But that's the thing, like real friends are probably better, like, more relevant to your
Oh,
life than
yeah.
family for some folks.
Yeah, like some people, members of my family, I'd only ever see them like on Thanksgiving.
But that's the thing though,
Yeah.
even though you might not see them, like the vibe is always there. Like I
Mhm.
have friends I will never see, but like, whenever we do see each other, the vibe's always there.
My best friend's getting married at the end of the month, and that's what I mean is that like I see him maybe once, twice a year, and it's a very different dynamic. Like when I see him again.
Well, congrats to him, man. That's awesome. I'm the only one who's lagging behind in the game. Martin's pretty much married. Pat's
Gotta
married.
step up your game.
No one's lagging behind. You get married when you get married. Nothing's a
Oh, I
race.
know. For me, it's
You're s-
y'all gonna be
you're-
like, wait,
you're married.
you
to
just
the
met this
cinema.
woman and you're getting married. I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's how it's gonna work.
You're married. To
It's
cinema.
gonna
You're
happen
married
with
to the
like.
game.
So right here, this is where we start the third act, right? Or like the last bit of the movie where this is where we trap what's his face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solomon.
But we don't know that when
Peter
we're
Lorre.
first watching the movie.
No, I mean I don't think anyone's ever aware of it. Even it still kind of hides it from you for a while too.
And you saw the
You can see
glass
the
go up.
glass.
you saw the
there.
glass
You can see
pane,
it
but
there.
they don't
yeah.
show it to you directly. So it's like
No.
Yeah.
it's almost like a
It's just
magic
like
trick.
it's such a great detail of like location and everything where it's like subconsciously he's putting you right into where this movie's ending and we don't even know it yet.
Yeah. I mean, like the first time you obviously watch it, you wouldn't. Your eye was not catching that. But now that you know, you're like, oh shit, there's glass right there.
Yeah, like it's there for you to notice
reflection.
it. It's like
Yeah, and
inviting
you're
you to
like,
like
oh,
pay
it's kinda
attention, but
obvious.
it's also
Yeah.
like actively at the same time like not giving you enough information to be like, what the fuck is that?
It's not London if you're not by the fucking bridge.
Yeah. London Bridge is falling down.
It's like San Fran. It's got to be you got to see Big Ben and you got to see London and you got to see the Tower Bridge.
Yep. Or Big Ben. They did both in this
Mm.
movie.
And a phone booth.
And they have Big Ben again in the last movie too.
Yeah.
They do have a love for London in general. These two, McHugh and Tom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never been, but I always want to go to London. Heard it's great. Great town.
I think
Great
there's
city.
I do like London. Like I watch a lot of BBC, you know,
Downton
London
Abbey?
YouTube stuff. Like no Sherlock, Luther, contemporary stuff.
Luther, Ethan. That's how we bring it all back.
Ethan.
When this happened, I was like,
Downton
y'all
Abbey's
gonna kill
great,
my
man. You
man?
guys shit on it, but it's good. It's good
I
stuff.
swear to God, if this man dies in the 7th movie, I'm walking out the theater and I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm not looking at
Talking about
Martin
Final
for a
Reckoning Part
reaction.
1, Dead Reckoning Part
I
1.
don't want to hear nothing.
He said 7. You're talking about Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh, I'm talking about Final Reckoning.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I cannot confirm nor deny without the secretary's approval.
Best answer possible.
Nice.
In
When's the
quick
last time you
spoiler
saw Benji done?
literally like 2 seconds ago. Yeah, he's back on screen now, so I'm looking at him right now.
When's the last time you saw Ilsa Faust without a knife in her heart?
Damn.
You're fucking hilarious, Prakash.
Damn.
No.
what are you talking
You're
about?
so funny, dude.
I'm
You're
salty as
so-
hell. That's all.
You're so
She,
fucking.
she
funny, dude.
faked her death, and now she's in a silo. It's okay.
I'm in denial.
Everything's connected if you really
Call me Dochi. I'm in denial.
Look at that turtleneck.
It's a
Damn.
nice turtleneck.
Archer would love that. We've never talked about Archer, have we? That's another
I've never
FX
seen Archer.
one.
Archer
I think they-
first few seasons are great, and then it
I've only seen
didn't go great.
4 seasons. I stopped at season 4, episode 8.
Season 1 is fucking great. And then they had a little Bob's Burgers crossover.
I've seen that. I love Bob's Burgers.
Is Tom's next movie Inarritu?
Yeah,
Did
they
already-
just
he already
wrapped
filmed
the
it?
movie
He's
within
working on that
the
movie,
last
yeah.
couple weeks. They just wrapped it.
I'm excited to see him in something. Not to say that these
Not
movies
Mission-
aren't great, they are. But something
Yeah,
that's
but I feel like
not
he's just
Mission
only been in Mission
and
Impossible the
not
past
Top
like
Gun.
5 movies.
Him and McCoy are working on like 4 movies. He said after this, or not after this. But
I'm
after...
They
I'm
still doing the
excited to
space
see what
movie?
Inarritu's gonna do with it. Honestly, I mean,
Are they still in the space movie?
at some point.
You
Let's
know,
see,
that's
where's his
probably one of them. And I hope they
Where's
do
his-
it.
I mean, that's gonna be Doug Lyman. I mean, the next movie's gonna be the Gnarly movie as of now. So
yeah, Inarritu. That's gonna be till 2026 though. Damn.
yeah, it's coming. I assume it's late next year because they're
Well, that's
probably gonna
be,
do an
that'll be
Oscar
their
push.
Oscar push, yeah.
Who's the young
For-
person that's in that movie?
So
There's
Warner
someone.
Brothers. Jesse
There's
Plemons.
someone. Who?
Jesse Plemons is in it.
I
Emma
guess yeah.
D'Arcy.
That. Yeah.
Riz Ahmed. Sandra Bullock,
Excited.
Nicholas
Riz
Stoddard,
is also
John
in
Goodman.
a Phoenician Scheme.
No, Sophie Wilde's in this too. Damn. That's a good
Nick
That's
cast.
who it is. Sophie. That's what I'm talking about.
This is a great fucking cast. Damn, I didn't even look at this cast.
Who shot it? Darius Kanji.
Lubeski.
Really?
Back. He's back.
Really? My
Man's
man's
returned.
Yo,
he's
there's-
not
there's
working
a
with David
shot-
O. Russell. Let's go.
There's a shot
Raise
of
the
Sean
roof.
Harris right here where his eye like twitches, and it's so fucking good. Cause it's so right.
Oh yeah. It's fucking great. But
It's
that's
so
what I'm
good
saying. It's
because
like it's a
he
very
doesn't
like
overdo it.
it's like an old school villain like that's just like like you need those close ups like that.
And I remember thinking when I watched it, like it's so goofy, but it works so
Yeah.
fucking well.
That's what when I was like I said 18 times already, but I was like, this movie's so old Hollywood. Like it's so old Hollywood.
This is to quote
Same
Prakash,
elements.
This is so movie.
Ooh.
This is movie.
So the new movie with Alejandro and Tom Cruise are producing it too. That's an interesting thing. I know I see the production companies on there. I gotta ask somebody a question about that.
Is Warner
October 2nd. It's gonna be awesome.
Warner distributing?
Warner's distributing, but there's a couple other Tom Cruise is on there.
Tom
if you
Cruise,
if you look
Legendary.
at every movie that Tom Cruise has been in, he's produced almost all of them in some way. Like
In
he's
recent
got a hand in
years.
some way. Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is look at his filmography. Almost everything he has produced that he's in.
He didn't produce Collateral.
No, but even then, what I'm saying is just most of what he's done. I guess
Oh,
most of the
shit.
stuff where he's like the big
Besides
Cautious
Rock of
Surgeon.
Ages and Night and Day, he's had a hand at everything since 2010, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Including your
he
favorite film,
works,
The
dude.
Mummy,
The guy fucking
2017.
works.
I don't know what went into the Mummy. I don't know what the thought process
I
was
think
from
they
the
just
jump.
they just forgot the audio.
No, I'm talking about the okay. Spoilers for the Mummy. They make Tom
As
Cruise
if
the
anyone
Mummy at
fucking
the
cares.
end of the movie. If Tom Cruise is gonna be the Mummy, make him the Mummy from the beginning of the movie. Like,
You know,
Who
some
wants to
Prakash,
s-
I forgot about that.
I thought they
I
were trying to
forgot
make
that
him
he
fucking
turned
Van
into the fucking
Helsing.
mummy. I
but
forgot
that's
that
the
that
thing.
movie.
It's like you're the
do
beautiful
it.
like the sauce thing that you want.
There you
Within the
go.
first 20 minutes,
Nice.
you turn Tom Cruise into the Mummy.
No, I
That's
mean,
how you fucking do it.
I
That's
remember
how you
watching it. I
fucking
saw it in
do.
theaters, and I saw it kind of early, and I remember telling everybody it's awful, don't see it. And then, sure enough, a
I
week
saw it in
later,
theaters.
officially came out, and
And the person behind me just said, "Man, this movie fucking sucks." Like, about
Oh, I
30
saw it at home.
minutes.
It is the
I just
only
fucking
movie
burst
then
out
in my
laughing.
Natasha
life.
saying, "Man, this movie fucking sucks."
It's,
I just like
it's the
burst out
only
laughing. I was
movie.
like, "Yeah, you're not wrong." Like, this movie's not very good.
It's the only movie for the first watch where I was on my phone. I willfully exited the movie during the movie. I was like, I'm gonna sit here and watch this movie, but I'm checked out. I do not agree with this movie
Was that his
within
next
like
movie
30
after?
minutes.
And I did Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. American Made. Here, has anyone seen American Made?
Yeah, it's
Solid
good.
film.
It's not great, but it's good. It's Doug Lyman.
Yeah, solid film.
That's-
Rick Mate's pretty good.
Yeah, basically his last since 2018. It's Fallout, Maverick, Dead, and then Final. Like it's basically
And
kind of like the same movie
But that's
for
the
the
thing
past
now.
like 6 years.
Now, like going forward, 2026, 2027,
Yeah.
like now
He's going.
is going to
back,
be a
yeah.
different run. It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be
it's
that
gonna
late
be-
90s, early 2000s run, I think again.
it is because McHugh compared it right to Collateral. He's like, y'all want him to do another Collateral,
Collateral, yeah.
and we're making another movie. We want to make another movie that's gonna be in the same
Oof.
vein.
That fog. This is like fucking first Mission Impossible.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Bob Elsa was complaining about it in Phantom
Mhm.
Thread, and he's using it in this movie. I'm still salty about him being salty. It's just like, why, like, professionally, you
This
worked
is like
with
yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson for a number of years. Y'all have done
PTA.
fantastic work together.
Oh, I can't wait for that. And maybe he's probably gonna bomb, but I can't fucking wait.
One battle after another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, never mind. I forget we're on the pod. I'll talk about it after this.
I hope it makes 100 million.
Hear that?
We'll
we get
see.
the we get the secret sauce, not you guys.
But it's like, do y'all think? No, do y'all genuinely think that Leo,
Ooh, look at
the
that
movie?
light.
We know what the movie is. It's gonna be a weird movie. You think he has the power, the star power, to bring in people to
Not
make
anymore.
$100 million
Not for
on that movie?
Not for that.
Not
movie.
anymore.
Even if it has someone in the like Leo on the face of it, audiences.
That's what I'm saying. I think Tom Cruise is
I
the
don't
last
think
movie
that's.
star.
It's not even about the movie star at this point. It could be Tom Cruise, and I still don't think people would see it as much.
So one
The
thing
idea
that
of that movie star is dead. If that movie with Leo came out in 2008, that movie's making $300 million, $400 million.
Here's my thing with that movie, Vikash, and maybe you as well, Pat. Because wait, you did see it in 70 mil. Sinners 70 mil, IMAX. The 143 ratio. We saw the trailer for One Battle After Another in that 143 IMAX ratio. If they're planning an IMAX release, there is a very good chance that movie makes a good amount of money. I wouldn't say it makes like Sinners money. It may not even
It might make its
I'm
money
guessing
back.
70, 80
its
million.
money back. That's what I'm saying. Because like Joker had a 70 mil release, but
Yeah.
like no one saw it. You know what I mean?
McHugh was talking about how when you're making these big budget movies, you really got to talk to the marketing department as to what they need for their just for their work to put out these trailers and do all this stuff. And I mean, it is the truth, right?
Tom
You
Cruise
just
is
know
gonna stand
certain
on
things
top
are
of
going
a
to be for
building.
trailers.
I think with these movies, they always know that they're gonna put some of the stunts in the trailer because
Yeah.
you
That's
need
what
a
sells
draw.
the movie.
You need a draw. And the thing is that like after seeing Final Reckoning last night, I was like, they did not spoil anything with those trailers. They did a good enough job to get us in those seats, but that's really it. Because there's a lot that they don't show in the trailers. Are
Oof.
great.
Look at that light
Which I'm
behind
glad
her.
to hear. That's all I want to hear.
Very good. These movies
Some
have always
great
done a
fucking
great job
lighting
with
here.
not showing too much. I want
They
to say
always
with
do a
this
good job
movie,
of that.
the plane thing was, I think, the one thing that I was like, man, like they showed it, but even in the movie, like it still looks really good.
The problem is
water
with the
thing they
Final
didn't even
Reckoning,
show.
or sorry, the Dead Reckoning. They show the stunt from the end of the movie prominently in the
Mhm.
marketing for the movie.
And I think it still works in the context of the movie, but it is in the marketing a lot more than I think people
Then
expect.
Here we
then we
go.
would ever put it in there. But we understand why
Nice.
they did it.
Here we go.
All I'm
Gonna
saying
get
is
you,
this guy, like,
motherfucker.
if you're falling for a fucking, like, look at that, it's a hole.
Yeah.
It's some Looney Tunes shit, dude.
Some Looney Tunes shit.
May as well fucking put up like a painted sign of the highway or something there.
Down
Fucking
here,
Wile E.
dear
Coyote.
Lordy. Got you, motherfucker.
This really is some like Wile E. Coyote, like
Yeah.
he finally catches a roadrunner.
Yeah. And then like this is what I knew when I was talking about like the reveal that he's like in the case. Like
Mhm.
it's so much more satisfying to just see him lose his mind knowing that he's never gonna get
Yeah.
out of there
He just keeps
than us
shooting.
just getting him
Yeah.
killed in a really fast way.
Cause like, gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
And the thing is, the team is there, right? Everyone's there,
Yeah.
and it's just it's fulfilling. And that's what I mean. Like for me, when I watch movies, this is the level of
Got that
catharsis I
twitch
look
again.
for.
That eye twitch again.
It's like you want to have this sort of like emotional reaction to an ending. And sometimes movies don't have it, and I feel, I feel
Mhm.
it like lost with it. Even though the movie might have been good, it's like the ending really didn't land for me, right?
Mhm.
He's dumbass.
I'd argue the ending for Sinners didn't land for me, and then the credits played, and then we see a mid credits, and I'm like, oh, the ending landed for me. I'm like, come on, yo.
You see, for me, Makashi was the other way around. The ending landed for me, and then the post-credit stuff kept showing up, and I was like, "Can we just end this already? Like, you're
Oh,
half in and half out."
Yeah,
but that's
Haley
what I'm saying.
Steinfeld, though.
I would have liked it to be at the end of the movie instead of a mid credit. I didn't
I
need.
personally like. I'm the kind of person that's like, I prefer a movie where like it just feels like it ends, and then we see titles on screen. Because the minute you put titles on screen
Yep.
and I think it's over, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're telling me the movie's over. I'm sorry.
No offense. No offense. I don't mean this in a bad way,
Don't-
but every time I watch a movie and the title comes up, I want to get up and leave. Okay. I know all these people work real hard on this movie, but I'm done with the movie. Let me leave.
Dude,
That's
you should
why
wait that he
I'm all
fucking
for
knocked that
having the
thing
credits
over
at the
with him still
beginning.
inside of it. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him rolling around in that thing?
It's awesome. I love this moment right here with her again. Like, look at that little single lighting in their eyes too.
Mhm.
I think it was the DP for Better Call Saul he was talking about. He's like, there's a magic, like you gotta find your that eye lighting, you gotta find the way that you can do it for yourself and just do it.
Mhm. Ethan, you gotta go.
Yet
I'll
again,
see it. I'll
that
see you in the
score,
next
man.
movie. I'll see you in the next film in the bathroom with.
What would y'all do in this scene if y'all were
Like,
Ethan?
if I was Ethan, I'd probably just
Ethan's
got to
save the world.
Got to save the world, bro. It's it's a mission
Yeah.
impossible mission force. I couldn't fucking say that to save my life. Jesus.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
Nah, I'd be going. I'd be gone.
Damn, and leave your friends like that immediately? Wow,
Bye.
some friend you are.
Bye. Bye. Y'all know where to find me. Bye.
Don't know where to find
That's
you.
the point. I wouldn't know where to find you. You'd find me.
Exactly. Unless, someone comes and murders my wife and then it turns into, on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the lighting on from their lamps. So good. On the fake congressman.
Yeah, the practical. I don't think
It's
people
very
talk about it
networky.
enough. That lighting practicals is not easy. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's an art
It's not,
within
you have
of
to match the
itself.
lighting on everything else.
Yeah. Oh, just those
You'll
lamps.
spend
Just
an
the color
hour
of
doing
them.
that one thing.
70s.
60s, 70s, yeah. Like
The
that.
first
leg
thing I
there.
thought of was All the President's Men. That's why. Freaking Gordon Willis.
I like this little callback moment with the camera moving to Jeremy Renner
Yeah.
because it's kind of like the same thing as.
And
like,
now they're
earlier in
on
the
now they're on
movie.
opposite sides of the table
They're also facing.
than they were in the
this, like,
beginning.
They were
Yeah.
so like they're facing
It's
different
just
directions.
flipped. Yeah.
Low
split
key, aren't they
now.
wearing the
Now
same
they're on
suits
the
from
same
the
side.
opening?
I think so. They probably shot that the same fucking day.
Oh,
like,
Exactly.
out of 2 hours. Just stand. All right, reset. Stand on the other side. That's what I would do. Damn. 2 left.
That has
Two
been
left.
Mission
That's a
Impossible
good
5.
movie, man. That's a good movie. Put this out in the theaters 10 years. I'd love to see this again.